Big or small, they can service them all. Fairvilla Megastore.
Yep, fairvilla.com. There are a lot of locations. There's a location on OBT. That's their Fairvilla Megastore. Gigantic, kind of designed off of Ron John's surf shop. It's 2 stories. Yeah,
it's beautiful. And if you're in the Orlando area, that's where I would start because it's ginormous. The staff there, most of them have been there for forever, and they're super sweet and nice and will help you. Personal shopping is what they do best.
Yep, there's a location on the coast. There's a location on iDrive. There's a location in Kissimmee at Secrets Hideaway. There's a newer location in Sanford, Florida. Easy to find right there in Sanford.
Ooh, the boutique. Yes, that's very classy, very nice. And don't sleep on their games, their lingerie, pajamas. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to all be very extreme. It can be,
something that's funny. There's
cute and chill. Yeah, funny. There's quirky.
Funny gag gifts and like marijuana themed gifts that you can get for someone else.
Yeah.
Location in Palaca and Key West, of course. So they've got a ton of different locations. You can find them online at fairvilla.com. Also, they do their Fairvilla University.
Yeah. They just put something out 2 days ago on YouTube. You can sign up. All of that, most of their education is always free. They have events going on. So, again, when you sign up or go to their website, they always have something going on where you, pop in, you see the store, maybe get a glass of champagne, do some shopping with a loved one.
And the technology that they have in some of these products will blow your mind.
They got a robot ding-dong.
If you take your partner down to Fairvilla and just shop around, because it may blow your mind what's available in 2024. Again, it's fairvilla.com. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Welcome back from a big holiday weekend, and we hope all of you celebrated America and had a good time and were safe and, enjoyed yourself.
I had to explain to my sons what 4th of July was. I
don't think Maisie asked. Too much going on. Doesn't care. Living her own life. No time for 4th of July.
They didn't ask, but I was in a pool, and I was like, do you want me to tell you? I did the old man
When you're in a pool, you pontificate, don't you?
Yeah. What 4th of July means.
And for most people listening, I know what you're thinking. This isn't true. No, it's true. I've been in the pool with Tom. Something about him hitting the water makes him want to tell little boys stories and tales and educate them.
Then, as I explain, I realize I don't really have that.
Where'd you
specifically,
go? 1776?
Yeah, well,
is that where you went?
I was like 1770. That's when we declared this America. But I was like, wait, is that right? I was like, well, is it when they signed the Constitution?
Well, it's probably something you'd want to clarify before you start talking, right?
Yeah. Because I was like, that's when that America became America, and then I was like, what? Was it?
Were
just
you trying
when
to remember
signed?
a rhyme? 1776.
Yeah.
George Washington got his tricks.
Oh my God.
They went to the place. They did the thing.
Maybe it's just when was it when they declared
the British are coming? Wait, no, that's not it.
Did they sign it at a different date?
Was it the Delaware?
Was this just
Hancock?
A date they picked to be ceremonial?
Right.
Then I was like, watch some fireworks. There's fireworks, hot dogs. So
how about that lame ass hot dog eating competition?
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either because, I want to apologize to our listening audience a little bit in that I had claimed that the whole Joey Chestnut not competing in the Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest as a work. I still think that there's some fiddlesticks or something going on there, but he didn't.
Never say fiddlesticks again.
I won't. It was a bad choice. It was a poor choice. As soon as I said it, I'm like, why'd you say fiddlesticks? I'm trying out some new stuff.
Well, that one.
Hold on. I've got my paper.
Cross off
Hold
fiddlesticks.
on. I'm crossing it off. Hold on. I crossed off fiddle. How about tiddlywinks? Would you take tiddlywinks or shimmy dog ham? I've been using. Okay, it was some shimmy dog ham going on, but it was. Here's where I got it wrong. Joey Chestnut not in the competition. Some other guy that only ate I think he ate 20 hot dogs less than Joey Chestnut won the competition. And I thought I was completely mistaken. I miseducated our listeners. I said that Joey Chestnut was going up against Kobayashi head-to-head on July 4th. They're not doing that until September. I'm like, I don't even care. I don't want to see a hot dog eating contest in September. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Flush that down the toilet. I don't care about that. Hot dogs are July 4th. And I didn't even get one, Tom.
I wonder why they didn't just put it directly in competition with the
That's what I
Nathans.
thought. And bad on me,
It
right?
must be some contractual thing.
That's what I get for assuming, right? Like, I assumed I'm just a headline man now. I'm just as bad as everybody else. I read a headline and move on with my life.
But you would have correctly assumed that would be the logical thing to do.
Why would you do it in September?
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Maybe Labor Day week? Is that what they're going to do?
Maybe. I'm all about seeing Joey Chestnut go up against Kobayashi. But, I mean, you missed your mark. You missed it so many times here. But anyway, it was lackluster. Everybody bagging on it. The guy who won, I think he was like a solid 20 dogs shy of what we got last year.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not.
And
it's like the scabs are running it. You know what I mean?
And even, like, at this point...
What is this, Arena League? Come on.
But even Joey Chestnut, like, it's going to be physically impossible to do that much more than the record of, like, 86 or something.
Also, I don't think it's as popular.
No
I think
no one cares.
People are healthier, and the younger generations think you are disgusting, Joey Chestnut. Everybody that's younger... Everybody that's wearing clothing, non-binary clothing, and anyone that's younger hates you and thinks you're disgusting.
Well,
you eat too many hot dogs. You're gross. You represent old America. You are horrible.
I think everybody just realizes it's not really eating. It's more of how many or how much contents can you stuff into your expanded stomach.
I saw that at Gapetoberfest, too. It's the opposite.
So then it's like, okay, what are we watching here? Just you stuffing... contents into an expanded organ of yours that you trained over the past 6 months?
Chat room is saying, did you guys talk about the lemonade drinking contest? Guy was puking all over the place. Well, I'll watch that. I love a good puke video. I love a solid puke video.
Yeah,
Should I look that up?
Again, it's like how much contents can you store in your stomach that you stretched out over using exercise? Yeah, it's just not even... What the hell?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Look at this old man. Look at that poor guy. That looks like the beast.
Yeah, because it's like...
Oh, wowie. Look at this little guy here.
It's just forcefully coming out because you put too much in there. You know, your body's contracting it out anyway.
That's Eric Badlands Booker. He set a new record where he downed a gallon of lemonade in 21 seconds. He bested the previous record by 23 seconds set by himself. He said the first time he did it in 44 seconds. This time he shaved about a solid 20 seconds. He's really been training. That's some good practicing. Do they have video of this that I can watch? Oh, here we go. All right, we got some Eric Badlands Booker here. I didn't know they did a lemonade drinking. Go! Here they go.
A gallon.
Oh, yeah. Look how big these guys are.
Yeah.
There's only one little guy.
Well... Through like Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi, we all know that you don't need to be big to store stuff in your stomach. You know,
sometimes the smaller the the smaller the package, the better the chalk.
Ladies and gentlemen,
vomited.
Badlands Booker, a new world record.
Oh, okay. So Badlands Booker. What was that?
21 seconds, a new world record. 1 gallon of Nathan's famous lemonade.
That's disgusting.
That's a thing, Nathan's famous lemonade?
I don't know.
That's not a thing.
It is. Whenever you see the hot dogs, they say famous hot dogs, famous lemonade. I think their crinkle fries are famous too.
So,
do they do a crinkle fry eating? I think I'd do pretty good in crinkle fries.
On Monday's OG recap, and this is why you should be a BDM if you're not one, because Maisie and Andrea came by because they were leaving to Daytona for Maisie's Dance Nationals.
Yeah. It's like a full week of dancing.
And it was really, like, we've had the kids in just, like, saying, like, hi, you know, like, words on the mic when they were real young.
Like babies.
But we never had a conversation with our kids on the show, which, you know, me and Daniel were talking about doing it soon. But so Maisie came by and she sat down on the couch with Andrea and we talked to her on the OG recap show.
Yeah.
And and before, you know, they, you know, went to Daytona and you went and met them there on Wednesday. So tell me about Daytona. Sure. Tell me about the Nationals, because I saw, obviously that she did well. Tell me about it.
Yeah. I'll fill you in. So I'm trying to get this TV going for you so you can see our time. So I went up there Wednesday. They had to go up there a little bit early because I don't even think I talked about this, but May works really, really hard at her dance. I mean, when she says 4 to 5 hours a day, it's pretty much 4 to 5 hours a day. And it's by choice. It's not anything that I think you guys know. I don't really talk about it that much here. It's not like I'm not there saying you better practice your goddamn dance. We don't live in that kind of household.
She did slide me a note that said, "Help me." I'm being whipped.
But she just very much enjoys it. Yeah. So I go down early, and she was the reason that she was there early is she got asked to perform in the opening number, which is quite an honor. It means that throughout the year, based on your other dance competitions, you did well enough where the judges saw it and decided that they want to put you in one of their own opening numbers for the whole thing. So you're one of their hired guns for the day. She thought that was really, really cool. So the last time she had nationals, last year she got 5th place. And did really well. She was really happy with it. She enjoyed it. But this year, I am happy to report that through her hard work, she got, let me see if I wrote it down so I can say it correctly, because you do have to say it correctly. But she got the highest point total for her age division, and so she's the 2024 Car Daytona National Champion. So
that is awesome.
It's really, really cool. So now
when I saw that, I was like, way to go, Maisie.
Yeah, she did it.
And it's a direct result to how hard she grinds.
Yeah, it is.
If anybody else won, I would have been suspicious about the judging, because let's
talk about that.
I've never met a kid that is that dedicated to what she loves and then wants to, go to bed early so she gets a proper amount of sleep. That's what weird. Champions do. It's seeing, it's interesting.
I don't even like to talk about it because it does make me, it's like the opposite of, it makes me, I'm kind of guarded with it because I don't want people, he's talking about his kid because look at your kid doing the right, you know what I mean? You get that.
Okay, so I thought about this because when you talk about a champion, which Maisie is,
just like EJ now. She is a national champion, just like EJ.
So when you talk about winning the lottery, if you someone may not want to talk about winning the lottery because it makes other people mad, right?
Right.
Now it makes other people mad because the other people are like, well, why couldn't that be me?
Right.
Well, that's luck. Yeah.
She actually worked really hard.
That's what I'm saying. When you see someone achieve something that took them a tremendous amount of work, and you watch it, then you can never think, oh, why can't I be that? Well, you know why. Because you're lazy.
That's a very adult way to
we're
say
all
it.
lazy.
Yeah.
And so when you see that's why I think we're enamored by human beings willing to put in the work.
NFL players, NBA basketball, LeBron James.
Anybody that's gotten to the highest
Brady,
level that's won the national championship, right, is put in the work, and then there's no arguing it. And then there's no one that did it by luck. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Sometimes luck helps you along the way, but all 100% luck. You're not winning the lottery.
No.
It's not like she just chose Maisie. It's like she put in an insane amount of work that I watched her do.
Yeah.
And then she won.
Yeah, she did.
That's awesome to see.
And she set goals, which is interesting. And I know that she's just 9. She just turned 9 in June. But it's a lot of people are like, how much do me and Andrea guide her, right? We don't really, and again, that's not something that it's a very weird thing to say that. When she got 5th last year, she said, "I don't want to get 5th again. I want to do better." So she put in more work, and then she got 1st. Now she didn't get title. She wanted to get title. She got runner up for title. So she basically got 2nd place out of everybody, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, that's
but
awesome.
She said that's not good enough. She's like, so now I have something else to shoot for. It's giving me goosebumps now talking about it. I get real emotional about it. But she's like, I'm gonna get number 1 next time. And I'm like, okay. I don't tell her, are you gonna get number 1 next time? Or you got it's none of that. She already knows.
She
knows
self-motivated.
Her plan. She has a plan. She knows what she's gonna do. She wants to execute her plan, and her plan for next year is to get the title. I'm like, okay. If that's your plan, then I'll support you in any way that you can. But it's like she loves it, dude. She just freaking loves it. She did so well. The whole team did so well. All of her team dances did really, really great. And just to see her, like she was really upset. When I watch her dance, it's hard for me. I cry. It's weird. I black out. I'm like such a baby. When she takes the stage and they announce her number, they don't announce her name. They announce her number. And she comes running out. And when she takes the stage, when she goes into that opening pose and then the music hits, I swear to God, my mind goes blank. Like, you and I talk about that talent I have for wiping my brain. It's just pure anxiety. I go anxiety dead. I kill myself with anxiety. My chest starts heating up, getting so high, I start sweating. I get freaked out by it. But she had done her first dance, perfect. She did her second dance, I will say it was shaky. And she got off stage. That's when I got to meet her, is after the second dance.
Okay.
She was very upset. Like, not crying or anything, but like you could just tell something was wrong. And I'm picking her brain a little bit. I'm like, what's going on? You all right? She's like, she's like, it was sloppy. My turns were bad. I was shaky. She's like, not good, not good. Already beating herself up about it. I'm like, oh, God, I gave her that. Yeah. That's the part I gave her, is the anxiety of like, you got to be better.
That's Brady when he's down 28-3.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It is.
He knows what he has to do.
He knows what he's got to kick it in the gear.
Second half.
So but there was this one, and this is the thing that just makes me like so happy, but this is kind of a funny story. So a lot of these dance groups from all across the nation, there were some from New York, there were some from Miami, there were some from Wisconsin, Montana, I think, like different, they all come together for the nationals. And so there was this one girl in Maisie's group that the support section she had cheering for her was unlike anything I've ever seen at any dance competition. When she took the stage, no joke, and they were from New York, 100, maybe 120 people came in and sat down. They had vuvuzelas, they had noisemakers, they had cowbells.
Okay.
They had banners. They're like, yelling, going crazy.
That's weird that they were from Miami.
No, this is New York. This is New York.
New York.
But it sounded very like Miami.
New York, Miami.
Well,
there's a
they're
correlation.
so loud, just scream crazy for this girl, right? And they're like yelling her name, almost to a point. I'm going to give you guys a little help here. Almost to a point where the girl on stage, you were making it about you and not her, and you were being a bit distracted. I'm just going to say it. If I were on stage trying to execute these flips and kicks and hard S, I would probably appreciate it if you wouldn't bring a wall of sound with you to freak me out.
Yeah.
It's enough is enough. Support is great, but it was almost like every time there was a break.
She doesn't need that. That's for you.
Exactly. You're exactly right, dude. Every time there was a break in the music, some dad or mom would be like, yay! Or they'd be like, meh, 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 meh. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
That's not motivating your daughter. That's showing everybody.
Look how good of a dad I am. Yeah, I hate that S, man. I hate it. So this girl was the favorite in the division. I mean, she had the biggest cheering section. So, and here's another thing that's rude. I'm going to say this too. I have a rule that if I'm going to watch dancers, if I get in there, I watch 5 dances before my daughter and 5 after. Because I'm not going to be the guy that goes in there and watches just my daughter and walks out, because that is rude. It's rude.
Yeah.
What if that person doesn't have their parents? They couldn't make it. What if that person just started and needs the support? You owe it to them to sit there quietly and not be a dick.
Yeah, you clap to the end. For everybody, you don't get up and leave.
No.
Like when I go and watch my niece Becca's like band recitals, and then
you watch all those horrible songs.
Yeah, she's beginning band. Yeah. When she's done, I'll just stand up and excuse me, just leave.
Can't do that.
I sit there and I watch all the ones up to
So this girl goes. She's obviously the favorite in the 6 to 8 division or whatever, and that May's in. And I'm like, oh God! And she was really good. She was really good. But her support staff was just incredible. They had it all. But there is nothing more rewarding than when your daughter gets high point total over the New York Dance Studio and beats the favorite. So when they have all their cowbells and their vuvuzelas ready to go, and they go to announce number 1, and it's not them, and you don't hear one effing vuvuzela. It was amazing. I've never been more proud. My daughter
shouldn't you blow it for other people?
No, they don't blow it for other people. Only for their people.
Like, shouldn't you, like, at the very end, Like,
for the whole thing.
For the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like
you should blow it
the
for
Minnesota
them.
Vikings blow their horn for everybody, I feel like, right? The Skol, I think they blow that thing all the damn time.
Well, you know what? They would they don't shoot off the pirate cannons in Raymond James unless Tampa scores. So I guess I feel. But if you're there for a kids dance competition, like you gotta blow your horn for the actual winner.
For Maisie.
When Maisie gets up there, like give her a couple blows of the horn.
Not a thing. And then I asked Andrea if I could bring my megaphone because I thought when Maisie gets on there, I'm gonna get one of those. And Andrea is like, absolutely not. You may not do that. Do you want me to go into some other stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so going over there, this goes under the file. You cannot out trash me, and this is one of the most embarrassing things I've done for my wife. But there was a group text through all of the all of the dance parents.
Yeah,
and some of the dance moms driving to Daytona. When they got there, as they were pulling into their hotel room, they saw, they saw a naked old lady.
Okay, I saw that Andrea put this on our group chat.
Yes.
Then I was like, whoa!
Yeah, it's a fully naked old lady. Yeah.
It was a fully naked, tan, super tan old lady.
Yeah.
And I saw her from the side. So when the way you took a picture, I really couldn't see.
That was one of the dance moms sniping a photo.
Yeah. But
she has on pasties and a little.
Oh, okay.
A pouch.
Okay.
Yeah, like a little.
So she is covering her nipples
and her vuvuzela.
And her, what my sons call front butt.
Yeah, and her front butt. That's perfect.
Oh.
So she is covered. And so it's they put the picture in the group chat. And without even thinking that I'm on the group chat, I immediately text back to Andrea and all the moms, that's Tootsie.
Okay. Tootsie, the Daytona naked grandma.
There's two of them, and I know of them, and they're famous. And Andrea's like, "What do you mean that's Tootsie?" And I'm like, "That's Tootsie. That's Tootsie. It's Tootsie and Missy, and they're sisters, and they're Daytona Beach legends, and they've been there. I mean, they've been naked in the streets for years." But they're they're influencers, is what I was trying to say to them. And all the moms are horrified that I knew of Tootsie and Missy. They're like, "How do you know of Tootsie and Missy?" I was like, "I'm on the internet. That's how I know of them. I'm alive." But what do you mean? How do I know of them? How do you not know of them? They're the two naked grandmas in Daytona Beach. They're famous. They're influencers, dude.
But you also did terrestrial radio in the 90s, so like, that also gives you an insight that not everybody has.
I can walk with the creatures.
Yeah. So now,
they love. Then they got mad because I'm like, get a photo with them.
They're not really.
No, they're not naked.
They're extremely scantily clad.
Yeah, they're sisters, Tootsie and Missy.
I guess, or you could say they just have pasties covering just the legal.
Yeah, just the areola and then the bottom, the front butt, and it's barely covered, but it's covered. And they just.
Do you have to have a G-string legally?
They're talking to cops. They're fine. They're just walking around. They're part of the city, man. Know them. They're part of the city.
Oh. So, but the kids dance competition, they do cheerleader competition. Like there are a bunch of kids.
They don't change their ways. They don't. I wouldn't change my ways. If I were Tootsie and Missy.
How did Maisie, like the G, say like, "Whoa, what the?" Like if my son saw a naked old granny,
too focused. She was too focused.
Like
I don't have time for naked grandma.
They would be. I mean, they'd like it. I think.
Would you let me take your sons to see Tootsie and Missy?
Yeah,
I know where they hang out.
Yeah.
Take them over to the Kangaroo gas station. That's where they were at.
Like, I don't mind my son seeing nudity.
Me neither. I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind May seeing it at all.
Not sexual nudity.
Oh, it's sissy. Excuse me. Andrea's correcting me. It's Tootsie and Sissy. I apologize,
So, and they just.
I wasn't sure on Missy.
They're like the naked cowboy in Times Square. Mm-hmm. They just walk around.
They're not. I don't believe they're prostitutes or anything. I don't think they're up to anything than a good old naked time. I think they just like being like the freedom of living in Daytona. Leathery and nude, and they walk from the beach to their home and back and forth all day, all night.
Okay.
And you can get photos with them, and they're...
do they make any money doing this? Do they do social media?
I see them all over. They're all over Reddit. If you Google... Naked Grandma's Daytona, there are thousands of sightings.
Yeah. Because I imagine everybody's social media is filled with it, but they don't do their own social media, really.
I don't know. We could gotta get them in here. What if I could get them in here?
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Mo DeWitt and the DeWitt Law Firm are putting on a bowling tournament, and we're going to be there.
Yep, this Saturday, and you can still get, I guess, is it pinball passes?
If you are a pinball wizard, you can get pinball passes. Had better alliteration. If you would like to pick up some pinball passes, you can do so, and you can play all day and kind of hang out. A lot of people like to do that. Some people aren't bowlers.
Yeah. And, everybody will be there at the lanes and hanging out. So if you want to come hang out with all of us.
And when we say everybody, we mean everybody.
Yeah. Well,
I mean people you don't even like. Your greatest enemy might
I don't
be
even
there.
know who else is,
Name some of the celebrities.
There are some news people.
Yeah. I heard Sabrina Abrams from the News Junkies is going to be out there.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean will be out there.
Yeah, C-Lane.
But I'm pretty sure Abrams will be out there. I got a new segment. You want to do it?
Okay.
It's time for Hollywood Danny.
Hey, it's Hollywood Danny. Hollywood Danny with Danny.
Yeah, son, bringing you the latest and greatest of entertainment news. Hollywood Danny's in the house, bringing it to you.
You scared me.
Yeah, I did. I scared you a little bit. The look on your face.
So, when you told me you wanted to do some entertainment news, I thought we need to because I know nothing about
this was born.
Entertainment.
This was born from you, my friend.
Yeah. I see it every once in a while on social, but
Hollywood Danny.
I imagine a lot of our listeners don't know about entertainment news.
No, a lot of them don't know. But you know who does know entertainment news?
Yeah.
Goddamn Hollywood Danny does. All right, you ready?
Okay, yeah.
First story. Did you know, and this came as a bit of a shock to me, it was announced on July 6th at the Money in the Bank event that John Cena is going to retire from WWE wrestling.
All right.
He announced his retirement. Which I always laugh at because you're never really retired from wrestling. Hulk Hogan has been retired for, I want to say, longer than he's been wrestling. But he still wrestles occasionally.
Yeah. So you can come back.
And he wrestles with the demons occasionally.
Yeah. I think he just got married. I saw that on, speaking of...
Very happy for him. I'm very happy for him.
He has a particular type.
Yes, he does. He likes the dog, the bounty hunters.
He's got a young
dog.
Beth.
He's got a young dog, yeah.
But
they all like him blonde.
Big boobs,
I know this is a bit of a tangent, but it does make me sad to see how Dog the Bounty Hunter is now. He's got his new wife, Francine, and she's a God warrior. She's a prayer warrior. And she has taken over his account, so she'll be like, "Hey guys, what's up? It's Francine, and I want all my prayer warriors out there." And then he'll lean into the camera and be like, "His dog." Like he can't move his mouth. He has so much plastic surgery. He just leans over. He's like, "Hi, it's dog." He's just there. Anyway, but back to John Cena. He says he is going to retire. Here are some quotes on his retirement. WWE is filled with stories. It's consistently a program of stories ending and new stories beginning. I've never been too concerned with the word legacy, and I don't want mixed messages here. It doesn't mean I shortchanged any second on the canvas. I wish I could do it indefinitely. Now I just want to try and do something special for the globe and the people I owe everything to.
I also, John Cena is like 50 years old. Like he is,
I don't know how old he is.
Like on the secretly, more than a middle-aged man.
Yeah,
like
he's older than me. I believe.
Yeah. I mean,
looks
still
amazing.
Yeah, still looks amazing.
He's a beefy guy.
And but I can imagine at that age, taking the bumps and, putting your body through
rough.
that is probably way more rough.
And also just mentally, I feel like
he's made enough money. He doesn't need to,
But I think mentally, too, it's like putting yourself through that physically is probably something he's used to, but like just chilling out. I mean, between WWE and what he's done for Make-A-Wish, isn't there some insane stat where he's never denied a kid? Like, I think he's met every child.
And
if you ask for John Cena, you get John Cena no matter what.
John Cena doesn't chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that guy is a workaholic.
Minute, was that you saying that as John Cena?
No.
In third person?
I'm saying that...
You have his hair. You have John Cena's hair right now.
That type of dude, he's up at 4:30 in the morning and working out twice a day, workaholic, just driven like crazy.
When asked about his future plans, he says, quote, I plan on doing between 30 and 40 dates throughout 2025 as an end to my wrestling career. Cena announced, noting that the timing now feels optimal for retirement. Quote, the business is at an incredible height of popularity and awareness. There are some big things going on, especially the Netflix debut happening in January 2025. And I pride in being an individual WWE can call up and say, hey, remember that idea? The time is now. Let's do something that can bring us all together.
People forget that, like, when you're John Cena or any of these gigantic celebrities who've made, I don't know, John Cena's worth, what, $100 million? Something like that, insane amount of money.
Should have done that research for the Hollywood Danny.
He's got a management and corporations and entertainment lawyers, and where they're looking at the next 5 years, and I'm sure he got together with WWE, and he's like, all right, what will boost ticket sales and be a huge draw is my retirement tour, and it'll, bring a lot of people to watch John Cena's last, wrestling match.
You almost got it.
And so then he's got that, and then he probably has a movie or a couple movie plans in a couple years. So he's like, all right, my next 5 years are this, and then after that, I'll see. Maybe I'll make a couple debuts.
You're Tom Cena. I feel like you're Tom Cena.
No, and then so when he announces his retirement,
and you know who I am?
This has all been planned.
This is a wrestling joke. You know who I am? Hornswoggle. He was a leprechaun. Only one person will get the Hornswoggle joke. He plans on doing that. He has a couple more quotes here. He says, people say they're walking away and then 2 years later they come back. I want to set the record straight right now. I'm done. This is it. So he doesn't plan on being one of these guys. Like, he's going to do the full 30 and 40. He's going to do it. And then that's going to be it.
I'm sure maybe he's emulating The Rock's career, where the Rock did come back and make appearances.
Just recently he came back.
But he didn't really wrestle, right? He may, do a people's elbow or something, but he's not in a full match. And I think that's probably what John Cena... Right. He may make an appearance and then, talk some ass on the microphone, hit someone on the head.
I think in this one he's actually going to wrestle, because that's why he says 30 to 40 days in 2025.
I'm saying even in the future. I imagine he'll come back to WWE and then
guys, and I'm not making it political. The WWE is an all eyes on me scenario in that why wouldn't you want to be a part of it? There's a reason that Logan Paul is a part of it. Donald Trump has been there. Stone Cold Steve Austin got his start there. End all be all, people go there because wrestling is extremely popular.
And that audience is super engaged and valuable and loyal. Yeah.
They can be fickle, but there's also a huge amount of loyalty there as well. Yeah. You want another story here, buddy?
Do you think my name is John Cena, the social media, that whole thing? Because my sons don't watch wrestling. They know
that.
John Cena, yeah. And there's so many people that know that.
Yeah.
That would make him the most popular wrestler currently.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Just because non-wrestler viewers know that.
I do think that he is the most popular wrestler of all time.
Even more.
Some people are going to give me some stick for that, but I think it's because he tapped in. Like, a lot of the guys that like the more legendary wrestlers, the older guys, are dying, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about who's now. And John Cena has got a real huge chunk of that pie.
Yeah.
He covers my generation a little bit. He covers your generation, slightly younger.
Well, the internet is
your boys know
him,
who he is. My daughter probably, I don't know if she knows who he is, but I know she knows the song. And she knows the hand in front of the face, can't see me thing.
Yeah, if you showed her a picture, she wouldn't know. But if she said, dun, 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 my name is, and then she'd probably know that.
Yeah, she might know it.
Although she's not as much of a YouTuber.
She isn't. And she doesn't know a lot of the stuff. She doesn't know the lingo. I ask her all the time. I asked her about Riz. I go, what does Riz mean? She goes, Riz means you're like a toilet. And I'm like, that's not what it means. That's not what it means. You don't know what the hell, you nerd. You don't know what, I told her that. I go, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Riz can be ironically used as other words, but Riz is charisma, and then sometimes Riz can mean some other things. It's been known to be a little more risque.
Yeah.
Boom.
The Max and Tommy have been now playing a lot more Fortnite, and they got really into Fortnite.
They called these your N-word years.
Yeah, and then,
that's where you learn the N-word from every other kid across the globe.
Max will scream, "What the Sigma?" And,
Sigma.
And then I'll
that's what
I'm
this
like,
is exactly what I was talking about, dude. You got to get them out of that.
I'm like, you're just saying Sigma. There's no getting out. It's already
you got to get them out of that.
They're already in,
dude. Sigma was one of the ones I was going to put on my list. Sigma, munting. Gooning, flicker gooning.
No, but I asked him what Sigma even means. Then I looked it up, and it doesn't. It means like a male alpha.
Higher than an alpha, dude, is a Sigma.
Yeah, but they didn't know that. They're using it as like a substitution.
Don't let them say these things.
What
don't let them talk about gooning.
What am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to say, "Hey, knock it off!" Like that's what.
Well, I don't even know what it means.
Like an old Italian dad. He's like, "Hey, stop saying flicker gooning." Not allowed to say that.
And they're just saying nonsense words that mean nothing to nobody around them. So I'm just like, whatever.
Just wait. Let's go to this story right here. I thought this was kind of interesting. Are you familiar with the pop star BB Rexha?
I have no idea.
Okay, BB Rexha, she's a 34-year-old pop star, and she recently, I don't know if you remember, I think we played the video back when Sam was here. BB Rexha was on stage, and she was on stage in New York City in July 2023, and there was a guy who threw a cell phone at her.
Okay.
And it hit her in the eye.
All right.
And she's just been completely almost like it's becoming like a thing at her shows now.
Oh, people throw cell phones at
Yeah, this is bad. This is really, really bad. And I think a lot of it has to do with something called the Streisand effect. It's like almost the more you call attention to it, the more people want to do it because we do live in a time when any attention is good attention. I don't believe that, but I do think that people believe that.
Now, are they bringing old and not used cell phones to throw? Or are they throwing their own cell phone?
You're overthinking it. So you're a planner. You would have multiple cell. No.
Well,
I think it's heat of the moment. You just throw your cell phone or something. I don't know. This is crazy, man.
It's hard for me to believe that that many people would throw their own cell phone.
Yeah.
Being how expensive it is. You'd take an extra one, a throwing one.
Yeah, the big injury in June of 2023, this is the first one. During a performance at the rooftop at Pier 17, Rexha was hit by a phone, which caused physical injuries, including a split eyebrow and a black eye. She had to have medical treatment. So then there was another one that happened in New York City where they threw something at her. And then recently, there was a time where it looked like somebody was going to throw something at her, and she said to the person, she singled them out on stage. She said, quote, "If you hit me with something on the stage, I will take you for everything you've effing got. Do not effing play with me right now." And then she's like, there's some more of the video, and then she's like, "Which one? Point me the person. I want to see them," she told the crowd before identifying the concert goer. And then she's like, "Get the F out. I'm done with it." And she kicked the person out.
All right.
Let's go back to the June 2023 incident. Nicholas Malvagarna was arrested and charged with, let's see here.
Some sort of assault.
Yeah, multiple counts, including third-degree assault, second-degree aggravated harassment, and he was given community service. But
this has caused all the fans, because of social media, to be like, "Hey, this is the
lady that freaks out when we throw stuff at her." She's also older. I'm not saying older. Okay, look, I'm 48, but she's 34. She's not like a 25-year-old pop star. So it does seem a bit more mature to when things are thrown at you. You're like, hey, it's kind of like what we were saying. Hey, knock it off. Knock off that flicker gooning.
Yeah. And then you're like, well, start throwing everything. And then everybody starts throwing stuff at her. She should turn it into a gimmick where they lower a
barrier and then let
a roadhouse chain link barrier.
Oh, not the chain link. You gotta go plexiglass. I feel
Then
you might get some bleach. You might get some acid. Like Danny Trejo. I wasn't even going to put this in Hollywood Danny's report, but Danny Trejo had a water balloon thrown in his lowrider, and that son of a bitch got out and was swinging on the guy.
Yeah. You told me we were going to talk about this yesterday.
They knocked that old man down to the pavement. They knocked Dust Till Dawn down to the pavement. They knocked him down. His fat friend, he has a portly fat friend that ran out who looks exactly like one of the Homies characters. Remember Homies?
Yeah.
I used to collect Homies. This guy runs over and he's as LA as it gets. He's like, "Hey, Holmes, you need the knock." And the guy hits him right in the face. Bam! And he knocks him down, and he knocks down Danny Trejo. And then some lady from the back, as Danny Trejo's standing there talking to all these people, and they're it's starting to simmer down a little bit. And Danny Trejo is standing there. He's still yelling at her. And some lady behind some 10 by 10 tent throws a water balloon. I swear to God, Franz Wagner from The Magic couldn't have made a shot better than it. It soared through the air and it hit Danny Trejo right in the face. Right in the face.
So you told me about this yesterday. He was in a parade, like in some sort of like lowrider convertible. Right?
I mean, that's as stereotypical as it gets.
No, but you
it's like a joke. Danny Trejo was in a lowrider.
But that's his thing, that's always been his gimmick.
He's an L.A. convict, man.
Yeah. And then someone hit him with a water balloon, and he got out. Like did he pull over the parade, or did he just stop? Where he's at?
I think he stopped where he's at.
So
I think
everybody's backed
in a
up?
parade. I think you're allowed. You're like, hey, something's going wrong with the parade.
And then he got out and then punched. And now Danny Trejo is 80 years old.
Well, I'm going to walk you through the video. I don't have it.
Which is crazy. He's 80.
I'm going rogue. I'm going off my script. I apologize. I'm going rogue. I don't have the video ready, but I will describe it. He walks up. I think he's 70.
Okay.
He walks up, or he might be 80. He's old. He punches the guy in the face, and then the guy goes to swing on him, and he does the duck down, and the guy swings over him. It's impressive. There's a curb. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. There's a curb there. This guy knows how to fight. Even if he's a dumb old man, he still knows how to swing a punch. He hit the curb a little bit, and that's when he got the Biden legs, and bam! And he fell all the way over, man. All the way over. Now, and that's when his fat friend got hit.
Now, I did mention a little extreme for Danny to, over a water balloon, get out of his car and then throw a punch at a...
Let me tell you why. Somebody screamed, it's acid! It's acid!
But someone screamed that, but it wasn't acid. It was just water.
Yeah, but he thought it was acid. And he's Danny Trejo. He heard that, and he's like, it might be acid.
Well, I feel like if you're a celebrity that long, you've learned to deal with the public.
The chat room helped me out with something really stupid. They're like, acid in a water balloon? I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. I guess I deserve that.
Well, someone did scream that.
Depends on what kind of acid, but like, think about it. Like, putting acid in a water balloon probably wouldn't work.
It would deteriorate the balloon.
I would imagine. I would imagine if it was like sulfuric or hydrochloric.
Yeah. So anyway, I think Danny needs to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, but the whole like I would say
still pretty awesome that he is willing to throw a punch at
out there.
A random spectator.
Yeah. But going back to the BB Rexa story and the global problem, which seems to be that people are throwing things more than ever before. At concerts, at places they shouldn't be.
It's a direct result. It's the same thing to why trends happen, right? With
Will Smith started it. You walk to the stage and you hit the person on the stage. Well, it's the new trend.
The Florida Panthers, they won the Stanley Cup recently, right? And then they've always traditionally thrown rats onto the ice, right? Mm-hmm. That started in the 90s or whatever because some player hit a rat in the locker room with a stick or whatever, and then that story got out.
I hate those kind of history stories.
Then one person threw a rat, like a dead rat or a rubber rat, onto the ice.
Yeah.
And then from that day forward, everybody, and then somehow, I think the news, maybe, I don't know.
Rat City.
And then the story got out, then and it still goes on. And so I feel like when someone hit this person with the cell phone, that became a story, and then it's just copycat after that. Yeah. And then it was like, I'll throw my cell phone. Although, again, who's actually throwing their personal cell phone at someone on stage? It's easy to find who it is, too, I guess.
I've never thrown my cell phone. Well, I think that's how they found him. Through video footage, and you pick up the guy's cell phone, it's got your eyebrow on it.
And why were you, I would, look at the person and be like, why would you do this?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. I'm like, why would you do this?
The answer is normally alcohol, right? Normally.
But even if you're drunk, why throw your cell phone at someone? They're just trying to sing on stage. You throw it at their face?
Well, why would you even, if you didn't like, it used to be a time where somebody was on stage that you didn't like, you would just walk away. Well, I guess that's not true because tomatoes. You used to throw tomatoes at people.
Yeah.
Maybe we go back to tomatoes.
The problem, I've always the whole throwing tomatoes at someone on stage, right? That's been a joke for since medieval times, maybe. I don't know.
I think that's what it started.
Yeah.
I think that's what you did.
So, like, the problem with that is, imagine if you brought tomatoes to
every time
show.
EJ's on our show, I have tomatoes.
Like,
I have a sack of tomatoes.
As soon as you bring something to throw, you're gonna find a reason to throw.
Yeah, it's premeditated. It's premeditated. That's what it's called.
Even if the show is decent and you wouldn't...
because throwing tomatoes is fun as hell.
You're going to find one reason. You're like, I didn't like that song, but I don't start throwing the tomatoes.
Or you don't think there's one person with restraint that waits till the end and says, well, I'll just throw them at the backdrop. Get out of the way. I'm just going to throw them at the backdrop.
But you don't
it's like fireworks at the end of the night that didn't go off.
You don't leave the show with the tomatoes you brought and you're like, you know what? They did a good job. No tomatoes. You throw them.
Save them to next week.
You find a reason to throw them anyway.
Okay, last story. This is my story of the week. And do you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my story of the week. Hollywood Danny. This one's a little weird, but I'll walk you through it. Do you know who Derek Blasberg is?
No.
No, I don't know who this guy is either. But there is an internet rumor going around on Twitter. There's hashtags about it. It's on Instagram. It's on TikTok. If you look up Derek Blasberg, he is a 42-year-old writer, socialite, and media personality, and he likes to follow like the fashion and celebrity news. He also happens to be very, very close friends with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay.
Well, supposedly Paltrow and other
old skiing Paltrow.
Yeah, old goop. They're really good friends. She's spoken very highly of him. She says he's super charming, very, very close. They've collaborated on various projects, stuff like that. Well, there have been these rumors that have surfaced that while staying at one of Paltrow's homes, either in the Hamptons or Montecito, Blasberg had a severe, explosive, everywhere in the bathroom diarrhea accident. I knew you would laugh. This is what Hollywood Danny brings to the table. You want the good Hollywood story? I'm gonna bring it. So this allegedly it occurred in the bathroom and then also occurred in the bed. Like grinding out a grumpy, like the old grumpy in the bed. And so bad, in fact, that he essed up the entire house and then left in a hurry. Like he packed everything up.
Got the hell out of there?
And got the hell out of there. The gossip was reportedly shared among high-profile individuals, including Oprah Winfrey and Jerry Seinfeld, which helped the rumor gain traction. The story was picked up by various gossip sites and tabloids, adding to the sensationalism. The breaking news that one of Gwyneth Paltrow, because she apparently told the story to Oprah, because I even asked, I was like doing the story, I'm like, why would Oprah share that? That does not sound like Oprah, right? Well, she was just talking about how that was Eddie Murphy. Oprah was just talking about somebody said, they used the adjective on Saturday Night Live, that she was frumpy, bumpy, and lumpy.
Okay.
And it still hurts her feelings. And then Eddie Murphy, he came out and said David Spade put a picture of him dressed as the Brooklyn vampire and said, look, kids, a falling star. And he said that was racist. Like, people are sensitive as hell right now, man. And how does this become a story? Hollywood Danny wants to know, how does this become a story that this guy diarrheaed up Gwyneth Paltrow's summer home?
Because then, everybody starts within the celebrity circles. They just start talking right? Like
he hasn't addressed it. Now here's the part that I knew you will love the most.
We tell the story about the cruise incidents that have happened.
Oh, yeah. We tell the story about Shark and Ray.
So that spreads around.
I'm gonna tell you.
I don't know how it becomes that bad.
But here's how it becomes bad. Okay, so you're probably thinking, okay, not that bad. He hasn't responded, yada, yada. Yeah. Oprah Winfrey, Jerry Seinfeld, whatever. I went to his Instagram account. He's pushing 1 million followers. And then I went to his latest photos. He was in Paris and he's in Milan. And there are these gorgeous gowns with the hottest models in the photos. I'm talking models that are like the most famous in Elle magazine, Cosmopolitan, everything. And then you'll look and it'll be a couture gown that's probably one of a kind. And the first comment will be, heard about your diarrhea at Gwyneth's house. Are you okay? Did you wash the sheets on site? Did you drive them home? Are you okay? What's wrong with your butt?
Yeah, they're trolling him.
They're trolling him hard.
Yeah.
It's every post. Every post on his Instagram is talking about diarrhea. Every post.
He can never make a post again.
Nothing can be done.
Yeah, because everybody will ruin. The more he doesn't acknowledge it, the more hard people will go.
BB Rexa, you're going back to the more you say, like, hey, if you throw that phone back, it's the Barbara Streisand thing.
Yeah.
This has been Hollywood Danny's Hollywood Danny Report.
See,
there you go.
Like, if you have some sort of medical problem, and I'll put it under the terms medical problem when it's that bad that, like, when you say everywhere, like, it's something happened, right? Don't you spend as much time and money as possible to clean it up so that it doesn't get out there.
I think he was just there. And see, here's what I'm imagining, okay? I'm going to give you the explanation from me. I think he's there. It's a remote, very quaint, rich neighborhood.
Yeah.
Where it's you can't get professional cleaners there, and you clean it the best you can, and you leave, and then yes, you probably compensate her or have a professional cleaning service go in, right?
But it still gets out, and just because it gets out with even if Gwyneth Paltrow didn't say it,
supposedly
the cleaning people.
Okay, supposedly, because I did research on this, the reason it got out is because Gwyneth has told people.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's the rumor is
the fact that
she is continuously telling people, and that's why it's continuing to spiral.
Well, that means that it was egregious and weird, I think, because if it was like a accident and the person cleaned it as much as possible and you could barely tell, it's like I feel like she's not spreading that around. If he just if he just leaves and it's all over the bed and then all over the bathroom, then she starts telling people how weird that is. Like, this guy stayed at my house and he blew up the entire bathroom.
So you're more leaning to that he didn't clean it at all.
Yeah, because think about the stories that we've spread around.
This is one of our closest friends. I mean, this would be a real stab in the back, right?
Or
if you and I,
he's just nuts.
If you and I were just friends and you came over to my house to use it, and then I came back, and my master bed, or my main bed bathroom was just effed up crazy. And then the bed had a big old grumpy in it. I mean, I called you immediately.
No, I know.
What the hell's going on?
But like when you say good friends, like we.
Oh, you mean this is a Hollywood relationship?
Yeah. And then
connections.
Where it's not like there's not lifelong friends, like acquaintances. That even though they were friends, a bizarre thing like this. You think about the cruise. Remember the story that we spread around a lot. That the person.
Are you talking about the guy inside his cabin that was just smearing it everywhere? Yeah. That's my favorite one. And you don't like me saying that guy's who he was friends with
because that story gets spread around because it's so odd that we're like, can you believe this happened? Because we know what happened.
That's why I keep talking about it. Because I want answers.
It has to be like this, where Gwyneth Paltrow is like, it was on the walls everywhere,
right.
Like that's
like a horror movie.
Yeah, exactly. And then like he left it in the bed without even like bundling the sheets and
he made the bed.
Because that's where like odd stories that don't make any sense of someone's behavior get spread around.
He left a tuna sandwich on the table.
Not like an accident, like this person has some sort of anus problem.
Don't ever say that. What is wrong with you?
And then
what is wrong? Anus problem?
And then he's got some IBS, and then it's like
I have IBS,
and he tried to fix it, but like that's not a story that gets spread around. Like, did he destroy the bed and the entire bathroom? That story gets spread around, and that's why it's happening to him. And he deserves it. If he just left like Gwyneth Paltrow's room destroyed without any sort of trying to clean it or,
and the fact that he doesn't address it at all and hasn't, and he probably won't.
Yeah. It's going to make it worse.
He's not going to, right? Like, he's just going to stay the course until it fades away. Until eventually every post he puts on Instagram, somebody commenting, you diarrhea Gwyneth Paltrow's bathroom will.
Remember when Tom Segura made that inside joke with his listeners about
Garth Brooks. Yeah.
That he's got bodies in his backyard or whatever it is, and then
it's still going.
And it's still going. Every time Garth Brooks makes some sort of social media post,
there are people that just hate follow Garth. So when he posts, he'll post hey, I just reissued some songs, and people will be like, where are the bodies?
Yeah. It's still happening because it's like that one person knows that it's easy to just make some comment on someone's post. So this will go on until this person's dead. Non-stop, someone will. Although,
and the most interesting part of it is the part that named by name. I mean, literally singled out. Oprah, Jerry Seinfeld. And I'm like, both of those people don't sound like the type of people that love a good diarrhea story. But hey, it made me respect them more. It did make me like Oprah more. If Oprah is actively laughing about a socialite pooping up a bathroom, then it makes me like her more.
Yeah. Of course.
She's more relatable. That's more relatable. That's real.
Listen, every human does it.
And everybody's had food poisoning, and everybody's gotten sick, and everybody knows when you're screaming to your wife because you don't have any paper. So anyway, there's, hold on, let me play my theme song. Okay. Here we go.
Hey, it's Hollywood Danny.
Yeah.
Hollywood Danny with Danny.
There you go. I'll pick some more stories for you again. I like educating you on Hollywood. What's going on.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Our lawyer, Mo DeWitt, is here. How you doing, Mo?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Great to see you. Great.
You as well?
I'm glad you know how to dress. This guy has been putting on the pants and putting on he got a new pair of crisp white Seinfelds to wear over to Publix. And it's hot as hell out there, man. Have some fun. This is summer.
No, it was business. Mo's coming here.
He looks awesome.
Yeah, no,
I
know.
Like a party pilot.
Well, Mo's the owner. He doesn't. What are
you? Thank you. Hit it with some facts, Mo. Hit it with some knowledge.
No, I know. But it's if you, I can't even think of a scenario.
He goes on all these other shows and they show us up. He goes on the News Junkie. It's a professional organization. They're doing it right. He goes over to Tampa.
Hold on.
And they're pro. They drink a little. Everybody does.
The News Junkie is as equal as professional as us. At least. I'm just saying that. I'm saying they're at least equal to us. Anyway, professionally.
Professional.
It's a level playing field.
So, how you doing, Mo?
I'm great.
A couple things I forgot to mention before we actually went on the air. If you knew about what I was going to talk about, just so I didn't make it look like
find out now.
Because I wouldn't bring it up.
The News Junkie would do a little powwow ahead of time.
It's like, hey, I'm going to bring this up.
Before I do this, I'm not going to make you look stupid if you don't know this. Yeah, that's what Sean would do. You don't do that.
Well, then Bussecker distracted me with giving out shirts and then hand me some lists.
I was supposed to read prizes. He's like, read this list and here's some prizes.
And then I'm like, what is happening? And then I forgot about the questions.
Yeah. And then Mo walked in and he was so cash, I didn't even know. I was like, wow, who's this handsome gentleman?
So before we get into the law questions, let's talk about the Mo DeWitt celebrity bowling tournament.
You're saying before we get to the questions. Something we like. You're making it sound like a melancholy,
very dramatic.
A funeral or something.
No, because I have a question for you, Mo, and this is it may make you feel awkward. I don't know, because you'll tell me the truth. I know that, but
he is a truthful man. That is true.
You and I believe you still have lane sponsorships available, or no, not anymore. Just two.
Two left.
Two left. And
you asked the wrong question.
So the
handler in the corner was giving the cut sign. Like, okay, I don't talk about it.
Get him out of here. I saw.
Damn, this guy's going rogue.
I saw you guys.
Did you get the questions ahead of time like Biden? You got the questions ahead. I'll get this man out of here. Get him out of here. This guy's a walking corpse. You get the hell out of here. I'm not going to support you.
So I was seeing on social media different people sponsoring lanes, and as they popped up, I was like, oh wow. I always
wanted to do. I always want to sponsor everything. And you always say like, we can't do that. That money's for us to spend split equally.
No. So I saw like our buddy Eric, our merchman Eric. His company E2 Method, which is a fulfillment company. He sponsored Elaine, and I saw that. I was like, oh, Eric's sponsoring Elaine.
Business deal.
Yeah. And then I saw one of our richest listeners, Eric Rodriguez.
Oh yeah.
He sponsored
Sparkle
Elaine
Daddy
with
two lanes.
Two lanes with his business.
He's my favorite rapper.
It doesn't even do business in Central Florida. It's only in Tampa. The Shingle Masters.
Shingle Masters. That's a cool name, dude. Shingle Masters.
And then I saw Water Boys. That's another BDM that is sponsored it. Ahoy Cruises. Tony Palmiotti. He sponsors nothing.
Oh my God.
He didn't even sponsor our show.
Oh my! He probably had to sell his tiki bar sponsor.
And then Pyro Spot. And then I saw Christian's Clockworks, which is Links.
Christian Clockworks. There's a religious Clockworks that sponsors.
It's a Link and Jen's company. They're clock company.
It's a Christian clock company.
Is it Christians or Christiansons? I don't know. Whatever.
I'm butchering the name of our sponsors, Tom.
What
are you doing here?
You're going to get an email.
Salty Sisters.
You're going to get an email from the Clock Daddy.
Bart Merrick. Anyway, my point.
Where's ours? Where's the Tom and Jen lane? Is Stu Chunky on there? Is Stu Chunky on there?
No, he's not on there, and that's okay. This is partly why, because So then I started getting contacted by business associates and Tracy. Really, it's just Tracy. But she texts me. She's like, I see these people.
I can't stop laughing.
She's like, I see all these BDM's businesses and stuff like they're sponsoring a podcast. There's a spot. Like I think
Peter Von.
Scotch and Good Conversation.
Peter. Peter doesn't sponsor anybody.
I know.
Peter doesn't have a pot to piss in.
I think I'm his only sponsor.
That's what I screamed. I screamed that to Tracy.
How is he sponsoring?
That's what I said. Well,
Peter lives in a. I can't even.
He buys you suits.
I'm getting a lot of trouble here, but it's making me angry because I've been wanting to sponsor. I'm going to stop yelling. The first thing I'm going to do is stop yelling.
Okay.
I have been wanting to sponsor things in this town for damn near my entire life, and the radio station was cheap as could get. And who would have guessed that I'd quit the radio station to go work for the cheapest man in the world?
Okay, well, I'm glad you mentioned the radio station because I'm sitting back and I'm looking at all our friends of the show and podcasts. They're sponsoring lanes.
Jack Bradshaw's hair have a lane?
Okay, well, yeah.
Jim Colbert, the dinosaur egg, does he have a lane?
So I told Tracy because Tracy's like, should we sponsor? Should Tom and Dan sponsor a lane? I like,
and the answer is yes, we should.
She's like, well, because that'll make Mo happy and support. It's for charity, really.
Make our paying clients happy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And then it's also for charity.
I gave you that one for free.
Thank you.
And then I said, well, I'm going to sit back and wait until I see like an iHeart or Sean Watson come in there.
You want the big dog?
Yeah. Because then if
it'll show you the true value.
Yeah. Because I want to come in with the big dogs, not with the these small local podcasts, these little sprinkler businesses.
Wow.
I'm just saying, it's just like and then I was waiting, and then they didn't show up, so I pulled back because I said I can't. I can't. We get T&D Media can't be a liken to all these smaller. We gotta only be in the realm of the big boys.
To be fair, iHeart's still waiting to hear back from the bankruptcy trustee whether they're allowed to shell out the money for it or not.
All right, that's
Don't
fair.
talk about it.
That's fair. That is fair.
So, but then I'm like, oh, Mo, like, would that, how much equity?
I heard Watson sold his piranha. I heard he sold his piranha and used every dollar.
We're actually auctioning it off at the bowling tournament.
It's a signed piranha.
Yeah.
So there's 2 more spots. I'm gonna, we could come in.
Why don't we
last
get those
minute,
2 and get those
one for Tom, one for Dan?
Yeah. I mean, I'll talk to Bus Decker after.
Is there a cheaper lane?
I want a significant discount.
Is one of the lanes notoriously cheap, or one lane they just don't put oil or anything on it? That's the cheap lane.
There's a rickety lane,
We'll give that one to Tom.
Well, can we sponsor our lanes? Like, if we sponsor our lane, I want to be playing on the Tom and Dan lane. I don't want to be on the Salty Sisters lane.
I want to be on the Salty Sisters lane. I definitely want to be on that lane. That's the only lane I want to be on.
Come on.
Hey, mother, one another. I've always wanted to say that.
Sorry.
I've always wanted to say that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you guys agreed to come out and do the tournament and appear, so we didn't want to ask too much of you.
That's what I said.
You're going to be wearing the bear costume.
She agreed for me. I never said it. I don't even know when this event is.
It's a Saturday.
Oh,
and by the way,
that's going to be a problem.
There's still pinball tickets available?
Yeah,
Explain that,
all the
Mo.
lanes are sold out, but it's the Arvita Bowling Center and Pinball Lounge. They have a whole pinball area, so it's
Awesome.
all you can play. You can come out, hang out, play some pinball, get some drinks, get some food, whatever you want to do, and it should just be a good time. And so the pinball tickets are, I think, $15 each, and you go to justcallmo.com/bowling, and you can buy them on there. I think there's maybe 30 left or so, something like that.
Oh, okay. And I'm going to be handing out free, while they last, CBDA seltzers. THCA seltzers to children.
So don't.
They're only 2 milligrams.
Don't want to
fine.
admit this on the radio.
Now there are trophies that I saw that you posted.
are, yep.
Now is
Are
that
they handmade trophies?
Is that for highest celebrity score, or is it a total individual?
I know we have like a best team, right? Or and then like a best bowler. Or no, I got to ask Bus Decker.
Best team.
Best team.
Best team.
Bowler.
Best bowler.
Celebrity bowler.
Best celebrity bowler.
Okay, so there is a best celebrity
Best
bowler.
celebrity rack.
Isn't there a worst
that
bowler
what?
too?
What needs most improvement?
Needs most improvement. Yes, we'll call him the worst. Needs most
All right.
Yeah, I like worst.
just throw it out there. Be blunt
yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
And then best dressed too, right?
Best dressed.
What about most personable celebrity? Because I can win that. Because I don't know if you know this, Mo.
Telling your same old dumb story?
No.
No,
because-
come on, man. You got to chirp like me.
Remember the
I'm-
time I jumped Gravedigger?
Yeah, I'm the most personable.
No. Anytime. No, but I give.
You don't even
I
like
give
small
my
talking with people.
Of course I do.
It's only going to be gambling crap.
No, all I do is I talk from the beginning to the end.
but it's
I
the-
give the people my number, my cell phone number. I'm like, hey,
Well, I
I'll-
don't do that.
I'm
But
like,
you never
I'll-
answer it.
I'm like, I'll ride in your car. What
That's
do you
true.
want from
he
me?
won't answer. I text this
I'll
guy,
do anything with
I
you.
text this guy yesterday a heartwarming photo of Andrea's brother's new son, who's 6 days old, being held by Andrea's great-grandfather, who's 101 years old. And I said, look at this. Look at these generations. Nothing. Didn't even read it. Didn't even
No,
read it.
I
sent
read
to him.
it. I
look
looked at it.
He's, that doesn't matter.
I looked at it. What do you want?
I'm not even going to give it a thumbs up. I'm not even going to give it a thumbs up. In fact, I want to
thumbs
give
up
it a
is
thumbs
passive
down.
aggressive.
No, it means you've seen it.
Yeah. No. Well, you just if you text me, I see it.
I want him barred. I want him barred from the
Everybody
event. I
sees
want him
it.
barred from the event.
If I text anybody, I know they saw it. Who doesn't see it?
I don't. See,
Everybody sees it.
Sometimes I don't see text.
Yeah,
I don't have that.
that's an excuse. Everybody sees it.
I don't have the receipt thing on there either.
No.
have
You
that.
never have the red thing.
No.
You tell someone that you read it.
The read receipts?
Yeah.
All
I
right,
used to have that
definitely
on.
turn
Do
those
we
off.
want to get to our questions and stop arguing?
God.
Okay.
So I like arguing with Mo.
I do too.
At the same crazy thing.
I like getting Mo in here and then not accomplishing anything.
So anyway, let's get to the law.
Sure.
So this is the question I didn't prep you for.
Perfect.
Well, I mean, it's nothing salacious or
I mean,
crazy.
to be fair, you never prep me for the question.
That's true.
true.
Yeah.
That
But
is true.
sometimes I think I'm like, what if Mo doesn't
Yeah.
know about
Sometimes
this?
he texts me when you
And
get
then-
here and he's like, "Who is that?"
And then, but what if I ask Mo a question? He's like, and you start flushing around. Then I'm like, go to break.
Yeah, I should just start showing up at random times and just seeing like if you guys think I'm supposed to be here, just do like fake shows.
Oh,
We've had that.
We've done that
Yeah,
before.
we've done that. And we'll roll, and we'll never make you feel that you were in the wrong at one time.
You'll just show me like, I have to sit down and do the show. We've done shows with people we have no idea who they are.
Yeah. You know what that's called? That's the Steve Winwood, man. You roll with it, baby. Right down the lane.
And then
Never move.
During the interview, we'll figure it out. And we're
Yeah.
like, okay.
And then I'll text Tom sometimes.
So recently, the NFL, got a judgment against them for an antitrust case
For the Sunday ticket thing?
For the Sunday
Yeah.
ticket thing, and it's
This is just a taste of what his lane will hear on.
no, I'll talk about whatever, any subject I can talk about for long periods of
Except
time.
entertainment news.
And then whatever you want, I'll give you my number.
We're
I'll-
arguing again. Ask your question.
I'll give you my shoes.
Ask your
So I'll let you if you're like autograph my shoes for me, I'll autograph them.
I want
and
you to eat.
You can take them
I
home.
want you to take your. I want you to go in the bathroom and take your underwear off, and then come back and cut a piece of your underwear off and eat it. That's what I want you to do.
Well, if
I'm bringing scissors.
I'll do anything for
I'll
the
bring
kids.
the scissors. I want you to eat the crotch of your underwear at the bowling tournament. Cut the crotch out and then choke it down with water like Kobayashi.
It is for the kids. I mean, we should say that's for the kids.
Yeah.
So my question is, Mo, and this is the only part that, it all is kind of confusing, but the number one question I've heard asked, and I was wondering too, is I thought that a business can charge whatever they want for their product. And with this whole thing, a bunch of people are confused. They're like, well, what's the problem? Shouldn't the NFL be able to charge charge whatever they want for their, their product. It's their, it's their
when does it become
thing.
like an egregious, like we are being in some way shut out from any type of competition there, right? That's the problem, right?
I guess because it gets into monopoly, and I guess that is where because they're the only person that that determines this. So then I guess because they're price fixing with themselves or turning down lower offers, because that was one of the things too. Like during the court case, I read that like the ESPN offered them like a deal that would have the people pay a little bit less, but also get individual games.
Right.
Have more variety, and they turned it down.
They turned it down.
But then I was like, yeah, they could turn down whatever they want.
Turn down for what? Yeah. That's what they say. That is what they
Yes.
say.
Like,
that is.
like
It's a legal term.
Like if another company offered us to do BDM subscriptions cheaper, I won't do that. I want the most.
I thought you were dumb for the $195.
Yeah, so I thought that, but I guess maybe in a corporation or something the size of the NFL, like
Is
that's
this
a
when
whole
we turn to Mo and we go, you know anything about that?
I'm just going to keep rambling on.
Just
Mo.
keep rambling. I mean, I haven't looked into it extensively. I think it has to do with the fact, they control all the football games, obviously. It's a little different there. And then it was the out-of-market versus in-market pricing, kind of how they fix the pricing. And so, antitrust is a whole complicated area of law. But I think that's essentially what they were doing, kind of price fixing, depending on the market, where it was maybe cheaper out-of-market versus in-market and things like that, to where it violated the antitrust laws. At the end of the day, really just have to look at the law, and if, whatever the law says, it's a federal law, obviously.
Okay.
What they were doing violated that statute, essentially. So that's kind of where they got caught up.
And I also heard that, like, I guess stereotypically or historically, juries will rule against any giant corporation for the most part, and more for the people.
Yeah, we must have read the same article because I read that.
Plugging John Morgan over there for the people?
No.
Do you not know who your sponsor is, Tom?
I mean that that they're just like a jury's going to always side for the small guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's why, when like we have car accident lawsuits, they don't really let us put, even though the defendant may have insurance, the jury's not allowed to know that, because the insurance company doesn't want them to know that, because typically juries, if they hear this big corporation, they're going to be like, oh, it's a drop in the bucket of the big corporation. They award bigger verdicts historically. So that's why the jury's not allowed to know whether there's insurance or not. They just get to know the names of the plaintiff and the defendant.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah.
And I imagine that people just assume the person has insurance.
I don't know. I think a lot of people don't necessarily assume that, because they go in and they just hear it's a car accident. They hear, Tom Van versus, Daniel Dennis, and they don't know if Daniel Dennis has insurance or not. Even though really, it might be Geico's lawyers over there, and
I do know. I can tell by the name.
there's no insurance.
I can tell by only your name if you have insurance or not.
It's like a magic trick.
Yeah, and I'm 30% wrong sometimes. So okay, now we have an actual question that.
Well, it's a good tie-in because we went right into we're going right into like automobile accidents. This one is something that I've never thought about. We have somebody that was a passenger for a carpool. It's a rideshare program, and they were hit by another car. The accident was severe, and they sustained injuries and will require ongoing medical treatment. They're unsure on how to handle the situation since multiple parties were involved. I guess that's what's making it sticky, is that you've got somebody else driving, you're just a passenger. You've entered in, I'm guessing, a rideshare agreement, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just loose, and it's just the four of you at work have decided you're going to carpool. Are there any... is anything legal there? Is just agreeing to ride together a contract in some way?
Well,
like, how does that all work?
Not really. I mean, the nice thing as a passenger is you're never, liable typically. So either the driver of the vehicle is going to be liable, or the person who hit the driver is going to be liable. So typically, depending on how the accident happened, you're going to be suing one of those two people, either the driver of the vehicle you're in, or the vehicle that hit you, or sometimes both, if it's kind of a shared liability situation where maybe both of those parties are at fault. So, you want to investigate what the insurance coverage is for not only the person who hit them, but also the driver. There may also be uninsured motorist coverage that could apply. If you have your own uninsured motorist coverage, even if you're not in your vehicle, that could still apply. So there's a lot of little complicated things you want to look at to see, all the potential coverages that are available. If it's an Uber or a Lyft, if they were held partially at fault or at fault, then there's insurance through Uber or Lyft that could apply. So there's a lot of different avenues there and a lot of different angles.
What if you are in an Uber or Lyft and you get injured in a car accident? Because I know Uber and Lyft have their own insurance.
They do, yeah.
But I imagine that it complicates things a lot because now you have to go through Uber or Lyft's insurance. And
just sounds wrong just doing that, right? They're going to pay me.
It seems like they have their own attorneys that are going to not want to pay. Is it harder?
Well, no, it's not necessarily hard. No insurance company wants to pay.
Yeah.
Actually, we had a Uber or Lyft case for a BDM who ended up using that money to buy a home through your wife in Bart Merrick.
No, really?
Yeah. Crystal told me that at the Land Cruise.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, it's just like anything else. Insurance companies never want to pay, but you go after them. You hold their feet to the fire. You file the lawsuit if you have to, and you just essentially try to force them to pay.
For the record, I've always wanted to burn someone's feet, put their feet. And just see what happens. Will it start bubbling up?
Yeah. Well, the key is to put their feet in the pots and then bring the water up to boiling. And
so they don't know.
Yeah, it's called frog feet.
I never knew that.
So it boils them, but if you do it slowly, then
they don't know.
Yeah, they don't.
You've really thought this through way too much. Too much.
You should see the things we think about.
Because you just put the feet in the boiling water. They'll jerk around.
Hop right out.
Yeah. You have to boil them slow.
Right out. You feel like a nice warm bath.
You know what? I was wrong about you. Let's try this one right here. I think we got time for one more. Dear guys, I work in a warehouse with significant safety concerns, particularly regarding the equipment we use. It is old and never maintained. Recently, a colleague was injured, and it has raised serious concerns among the staff about our safety and legal rights. Could you help me with some information on what I can do to get the ball rolling? A lot of the stuff that we use is old, and it's getting bad. Mark.
Well, the simplest thing you can do is, put it in writing to the company that you have these safety concerns. So if something happens, you've kind of put them on notice already. Document it.
Is that is this like anything else? So you see stuff that is bad in your warehouse. Let's say it's a forklift.
Right.
Can you just start snapping photos of stuff that you deem bad and that's as good as any?
Well, you can, but you want to put them on notice. The idea is that you gave them the opportunity to fix it. You want them to fix it, and they refuse to fix it. So that's what can kind of open the door in some extreme circumstances to punitive damages and things like that. So if you put them on notice, that's kind of the first step there.
Gotcha.
Now, of course, you can always quit your job and leave if you don't feel safe working there. You could also contact OSHA or an organization like that. Now, with some of these court rulings, they may or may not have much power anymore. But
if you're a whistleblower, you end up dead, right?
Well, obviously, that's what we learned from Boeing.
You start telling them, you're like, they got faulty forklifts. Next thing you know, got a cute necktie.
As far as liability goes, you want to put them on notice. That's the key to it.
That's why, as a business owner, I learned never to respond to employees' concerns.
Is that why you don't have any employees anymore?
Well, anytime they're like,
you don't
"Hey,"
read emails, there's no notice.
They're like, "Hey, I'm going
to put you on notice."
There's the aggravated assault incident. That way, you could always say, "I didn't see no email."
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I didn't see no email.
And then
you two are running a hell of a company. Let me just tell you that.
No, because then when you respond, there's a paper trail, and then they turn it into court.
Yeah. I've stopped putting things in writing, which means I don't write back to any of our listeners anymore. I don't write them back because they hold it against me.
Never put in writing text. I learned texts are real bad.
Text is the worst one. Text is the worst one.
Text will come back and bite you in the ass.
I only use Truth Social and WhatsApp. That's all I use because it's safe. It's the only place that's safe.
Yeah. Can you get your texts from
erase? No.
Do they erase at a certain point?
No.
Or do they stay forever?
No. Well, they reset every 7 years. I think that's
Can you subpoena texts from 10 years ago? Is there
which reminds me of one of my favorite stories.
Infinite record of them?
I got cheated on. And I emailed the girl that cheated on me from the radio station. I can tell the story, right? That's a good way.
No, come on. It'll make Mo think differently of you.
I don't think it will. I think it'll make him know I'm a passionate lover.
Okay. Just what I wanted to know. I've always wondered about that.
This girl cheats on me. So I get on the air, and I'm like, no. I just start emailing back to her. I'm like, you just wait. I'm going to tell the entire. I'm going to use 100,000 watts of real radio and tell everyone how much of a. I'll use a better word. How much of a loose, hussy, floozy you are, and then that girl. Forwarded that email to my biggest boss, Linda Bird, and I got called in the office. And I had to sit there while she read the email of all the things I told my girlfriend I was going to do on the air. Of all the bad things I was going to say about her. Like, all these bad words. And she read it. She read it all, like, into my face. Read all of it.
And you just say, like, I was just bluffing.
It's a joke comedy. It's no big deal.
It's all a bit.
Yeah, it was AI. See, I couldn't have said that. It was a long time ago. You can't say that.
How is Spain, Mo? Because I had a question about the legalities of the running of the bulls, but in Spain,
there's no laws.
That's what I thought.
We have a rogue question from the chat room.
Yeah. What is it?
Question for Mo. Costco recently announced if you park in a spot that you're not supposed to, that they will revoke your year-long membership without offering a refund. Is this legal?
Well, when you get a membership at Costco, you enter into a contract. So it's the terms of that contract that nobody reads that are actually binding. So, as part of, if it's not in the contract you signed last year, when you go to renew, it'll probably be in that contract for future years. And so, if it's in there and you agree to it by getting a membership with them, then it's legally binding.
In which case, I get a new membership using a mustache, and I hide a Duke within your Costco.
Has there been, judgments where the judge ruled that the contract, there was too much fine print in a contract that it was unreasonable to think someone was actually going to read, 30 pages of fine print?
Oh, you mean that's the gimmick?
Because I feel like most people, the majority of people, don't ever read
now it's
the
faster
pages.
than ever because you can just use the little copy and paste squiggles of your name, and you can just go find the digital X's, and you can on an iPad you can just
as fast as possible.
And you're just tapping them all.
I mean, if the contract's too overreaching, there are certain statutes that limit things they can put in contracts. That gets litigated a lot with arbitration clauses, whether the case has to go to arbitration or not, whether the arbitration clause was binding or not, especially with nursing home lawsuits. Typically, if you put somebody in a nursing home, there's an arbitration clause in there saying that you can't sue the nursing home in court. And so, because of public policy, sometimes that's enforceable, sometimes it's not. So if the contract is overreaching, then certain provisions could be deemed not enforceable.
God, I have a feeling I'm going to end up in a nursing home. I think about it all the time.
Yeah. Andrea's already done the research.
I know.
She's looked at.
I check her history all the time.
Local, old folks' homes.
Do you ever check your wife's history?
No. Don't. Never looked. I've never been suspicious of anything.
No. I'm not saying suspicion. I'm just saying I
want to check
to invade their privacy a little bit.
Like if Crystal,
curiosity kills the cat, man.
If Crystal had a diary, I would never read it. But
she still has a box of love notes from old boyfriends.
I don't want to know the truth.
I know.
I don't want to know.
America doesn't.
I don't want to know what people think about me. I don't want to know their opinions on me. My wife's opinion, my kids' opinion. I just want to live thinking only what I think.
You're doing a great job.
Everybody should, why am I going to start getting into, what is, if someone, I've had this before, where someone, butt dials me, and then the phone's on, and then I hear, them talking in the background, I hang up immediately. Because I'm I don't want, if they started saying, Tom Van, let's talk about him, I couldn't be on the phone and listen to it.
But the fact that you think that they would say that says a lot about your ego, dude. I never have I had one the other day. I went to look at it. It was I got a voicemail that's 9 minutes long. I go to look at it. It's somebody else talking. I never once thought, better clear this whole 9 minutes to make sure that they're not talking about Dan. I never think they're talking about me.
Yeah, but what if they do you listen to it?
No.
Oh, okay. All right,
I would, but I don't listen to it thinking better not listen to this because they may be talking about me.
Yeah, well, sometimes people talk ass.
You have a reverse ego.
And then, what do you mean?
That's like a reverse ego.
Well, I don't want to know. Listen.
Because you're assuming they're talking about
Yeah. Well, I talk a lot of ass.
That's why.
A lot.
Yeah.
And then I think to myself, I would check my phone. I'm and then I'm terrified. There's some long call that I was on.
Oh, I thought we had one more in here. Oh, God, I can't find grinding now.
So anyway,
I got one more here if you want to do it.
Yeah.
You want to knock out the last one? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's our final one. Let's see. It's this one. Hello. I recently received a notice from my homeowners association regarding the color of my front door, which made me think, are they living in my neighborhood? Because that sounds.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got to notice red curtains.
Yeah,
I remember that.
This may be a Baldwin thing because the door thing here is a very big deal. I reviewed my guidelines provided when I purchased the home, but there seems to be some ambiguity. Thank you, Mel. About the approved colors. Could you advise me on how to proceed with the matter without making it worse?
Well, you have to ask for your condo or homeowners association documents to see what the actual rules are and what's stated there. Now, sometimes you get these kind of rogue people who may be on the HOA board or something like that who are enforcing things that aren't actually in the rules. So you have to take a look at the rules and see what they say. And if it says you're limited to certain colors or that you have to have your door color approved by like an architectural board. That's a thing sometimes. If you're going to paint a door or house a certain color, you have to get board approval to do that. So you just need to see what your docs say, basically.
Oh, speaking of that, this has to do with us.
What we do.
So we
Is it the trash can?
More lawsuits against T&D Medical.
We
gave up on that.
we called. Our AC broke. We called American Air and Heat. They came by, fixed it. So then I sent the bill to our landlord. I'm like, hey, we fixed our AC. Here's a bill. I'm like, I can take it
like
off.
That. Oh man, that's probably why we got a bad reaction.
And he's like, you're responsible for this. And then I'm like, what? And he's like, you're responsible for everything. And I'm like, what?
He's like, you are responsible for it. We didn't say it like that.
And then I look back, I can't find the damn lease or whatever. And there's no record of it or whatever.
Again, it's a hell of a company too, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
we can't find it.
Well,
it's
what the hell?
It's somewhere in here digitally. We have it in here digitally.
So what happens, Mo, if you can't find the lease you signed, you have no idea. The guy just saying, you're responsible for this.
Can I say, like, hey, send me a copy so I can review it to see if you're right?
Yeah, you can ask him for a copy of the lease. He should probably have one. Somebody should have one.
You won't respond to email.
I thought once you signed it, I don't know about you guys, but once I sign anything, I throw it away. I'm like, it's signed. Why do I need to keep it? It's locked in.
Yeah. So, can you just say you're responsible for everything?
Yeah,
like,
in a
lease,
What if that says in the lease and I just signed it? It says there, he wrote it in on the bottom, you're responsible for everything.
Yeah, would that count? Let's say he did write it into the bottom,
And I didn't read it for sure.
Yeah, and then he wrote...
I don't have it.
And then he wrote, like, just what he said. He's like, you are responsible for everything. And we signed it.
I mean, if you signed it after he wrote that in there, then there's some interpretation as to what everything means, but that is a contract.
What we did is decide we need to pleasure him. That would be horrible.
I'm going to start ripping down the drop ceiling.
Oh, yeah. I'll tear this place apart. I'm a maniac. I'm a certified maniac.
We'll start tearing it apart.
We started the conversation talking about Chris Rock and how I'll fight him, or I'd fight Will Smith. I'll fight our landlord.
Sorry, Mo. It's the Just Call Mo Celebrity Bowling Tournament this Saturday. It's at the Oviedo Bowling Alley, correct?
Yep.
And come by.
You know what makes me sad? The whole chat room, every single person is like, it says it in there. They're idiots. Every single person is saying that.
Well, there's no way to know. That's the problem.
No, there's a way to know.
Anyway, so come hang out with us on Saturday.
Yep. Come play some pinball. Come hang out. Come have a couple drinks and say hi. I'll let you throw a ball in my lane.
And where can you purchase the pinball passes?
JustCallMo.com/bowling.
All right.
And what about gear? If people is like, can you give us any previews? Is there any new stuff? We got the summer tanks out, right? Are
summer
they
tanks are coming. They're on their way.
Okay.
We do have some bowling shirts that we're going to be selling.
Hey.
Again, I should say, we didn't say this. All the proceeds from this event go to Rosie's Adventure, which is a charity for children with cancer. So we're going to be selling T-shirts out there. All that money, not just the proceeds, every dollar, goes directly to the charity. So we'll have that. We'll have some other merch out there. So come out. It should be a good time.
Did you really sell over 100 of those tank tops?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because when I saw that, I was like, how
But they were cheap, right? They were like about $5. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mo's selling more product than we are.
We take a loss on this. I mean,
we take a loss on ours. Trust me.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, how is Mo doing more merch than we are?
I mean, he's got a merchandising manager.
I know.
He is like a promotional powerhouse in Bustegger.
Yeah, but I thought I was a popular podcast.
No, honest way down. Honest way out.
Yeah.
Every day when I wake up, I look up to the sky and I say, thank you, God, for letting me do this podcast one more day. One more day.
All right, but I do the opposite when I pull up to work. Anyway, all right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
Let's do some Weird Job.
All right, buddy. Weird Job Wednesday on deck. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Manscaped.com.
Yeah!
Get 20% off and free shipping worldwide if you use the promo code Tom and Dan 20.
I used mine this morning because I happen to have tattoos that I don't like putting lotion on my hairs.
Yeah.
So I buzz them down, and then I put the lotion on, and it's a better thing.
Yeah, 100%. And speaking of tattoos...
I also use it on my ding-dong.
Well, not actually the ding-dong itself.
Oh, on the tattoos?
No, just around. Okay, so we can't even...
No, I do. I use it right on it. Right on it, yeah. We've talked about this before. I've got a pipe cleaner, my friend. I've got a pipe cleaner. When you get older, you get hair in places.
Come on.
That's what it happens. Sorry.
Well, speaking of tattoos,
yes!
Our buddies Earl and Derek are here from the East. How you guys doing, guys?
What's up, guys? Good to see you.
So, we figured we'd do a little weird
Probably
job.
never thought you'd be a part of a Manscaped ad before, right? How cool is that?
It, man. It's cool.
How cool is that?
And we forgot we had to do it until the intro was playing.
Yeah. It's like
I'm fine as long as you give me one.
It's like being on Rogan. Yeah, give him that one. Everybody gets it.
You want a handyman?
What do you want? You get a beard hedger.
I got a lot of hair too.
You got this guy's a man. He gets a beard hedger.
I thought it was just me. I'm glad you guys did it.
Everybody's got it because I talk about the things that he doesn't like to talk about.
So Tom is the only one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's got it.
No,
he's
I don't have that.
Yeah, you definitely have that.
Well, what? I mean, how far?
You probably have a horse's tail.
Man.
That's a high? No, it doesn't
Real
that high.
High.
No, that's an older person thing. It recedes up like the hair.
Recedes up?
Yeah, like the
I brush mine forward. And then I brush it into a tip. And then I put Gorilla Glue on it, and I make a stabbing stick.
So let's talk tattoos. Because I know, well, first, let's start with like current day trends because I did.
Chat room loved Earl.
I did. I have.
love him.
I did some research. I knew you guys were coming in. And I started looking at different
is
trends.
a tattoo?
And there's people that say there's tattoos come in trends. Obviously, like me and Daniel were talking, like the full sleeve. It seems currently people get full sleeves, but when like patchwork tattoos instead of like a cohesive sleeve like Earl did for you.
Yeah, a lot of people want they want a bunch of little bitties.
Yeah.
Is
that the thing?
now.
Is that the thing now? It's like, I'm gonna get I want like a cherry here, and then I'm gonna get like a wolf. A little like a wolf,
little outlines.
Yeah, with his eyeballs
outlines.
going crazy, and then you just pick a lot of little things that mean something to you. It's almost like you make your arm a charm bracelet. I'm not saying it's bad.
I have a wolf with its eyes out on my arm.
Do you really?
Jerk.
I've always wanted.
I should know it.
We've always our favorite tattoo is we've always wanted
the horny wolf,
the Cat in the Hat riding a flaming A-ball.
You guys have been talking about that forever.
That is, and the wolf with his eyes looking at the big gazongas.
God, I wish you guys would have brought your
could've done it.
tattoo guns. I would have done the Cat in the Hat.
Oh, I'd have done it today.
Ball.
I'd have done it today. If it's small enough. I can't do the long things anymore, man. I'm too much of a pussy now. The long things.
No, you did good on your chest.
No, I did not. You didn't see me when I got home, and I was like, I'm too hot. I'm too hot. I'm too hot. My body's hot.
Oh, and he was bitching to me all week.
I'm shivering.
I'm surprised he doesn't wear open shirts now. More.
No,
I just let it out.
No, I mean, I've got sun damage, and I try to sunscreen crazy, but it's just like it's Florida, and it's too hot.
You're gonna have cancer. It's okay.
Oh yeah, I've already got it. I've got liver cancer. I feel like it.
Oh Jesus.
So
like stomach. It's got to be stomach. Something on this side.
And so I'm curious with you guys and your business. Are young people getting? Do you see just as many young people as you used to? Like let's say 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of young people that come in. That's like really big now. Like the trendy stuff is like a lot of guys are getting like anime stuff. That's huge right now. The little outlines you're talking about, fine line stuff. Lots of young people. Okay, and so that hasn't dropped off in your guys' mind or anything. It seems like because sports stars, I mean, the tattoos are just as popular as ever.
Yeah, it looks like sports stars though. Those are the only people I see that are doing like cohesive, big, swirling, like full body.
They got money.
Well, they're doing it in one session and getting knocked out for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, we talked about that.
What do you guys think about that? Like
I mean, if you got the money for it, that's your prerogative.
What's that cost?
I think probably a ton. I mean, you got to buy an anesthesiologist.
Yeah, you got to talk to
be on hand the whole time. Yeah,
I feel like we could just get the drugs. So, I feel like we could just get the drugs. I can find a guy.
I mean, there's an argument that feeling it is a part of the experience.
Okay. I was going to ask you about that because, in the
you didn't pay your dues.
Yeah.
I paid cash for anesthesia
because I equated it to this, right? So in the runners' world, the people that are into running, they which is on my algorithm now,
a bunch of old ladies.
But they part of it is the mental discipline of pushing yourself past like those miles that it's hard. You want to quit. Running sucks. The whole time you want to quit. So then part of the accomplishment of let's say running a marathon or any sort of distance is the mental determination to get past, to not quit when you wanted to. So I looked at it like, imagine if you were able to take a pill that your body just kept running, but you had no recollection of it whatsoever, and you were able to do a marathon.
So you get the benefit.
You took a pill or you're on some sort of drugs and your body was able just to keep going, but you have no recollection. And it's like, all right, here's your marathon, medal or whatever, you accomplished it. But did you really? Because you had no mental experience of the marathon of pushing yourself. You were just, I feel like that's part of it. You weren't there.
You weren't present. And being present is a big thing.
It wouldn't feel rewarding.
Yeah, and then it's like with you people that get
it's like spending time with your family. If you're on your phone the entire time and your family, I'm being serious, and your family are having a conversation. I mean, and then you sat for the 30 minutes while they discussed wherever your daughter's going to college. And then at the end of the time, I mean, were you really there? Were you part of it? Did you give input? No, you were not. You were on doing something completely different. So it's a different experience. Is that what you're saying?
For hours and hours of a session of a tattoo that's painful, it's like the fact that you put yourself through that, to me, is part of the art of the tattoo.
Now, we like to invite people here, and then we talk to them the entire time, and then you guys sit here, and then at the end, we go, thanks for coming, guys. What do you
I'll tell you.
First off, he runs this marathon, and now he's just hitting marathons. Is that what he's like? About marathons running.
He won't shut up about it. You have no idea.
I don't know, man.
It never stops.
Tattooing is just like running.
No, I mean, I hate getting tattooed. So if I could get put to sleep, I mean, although I hate
which is the first thing you said to me when you did the chest piece on me. That's the first thing. He's like, I hate getting tattooed. All right, here we go.
What's that?
Getting put to sleep is scary.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, it would be nice to not feel. I don't like the way it feels either, but I wouldn't want to be put to sleep. That's too much.
Yeah.
But, I agree. I think
I think once you've got a couple big tattoos, you're done earning them. It's like, I'm over this. I don't like it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I've done it. I've sat for a long time. Let me take the easy road now.
That being said, if you try to numb your tattoo, I will call you a wuss.
Yeah, you did. You called me a wuss. And it didn't work. It did nothing. It literally did nothing to it. Like, the first maybe 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, man, this is going to be a piece of cake. And then the rest of it,
I think that stuff makes it worse because there's it's a roller coaster of it. You can't settle in.
If it does work, then it wears off, and then it's real
like nothing,
bad all at
nothing.
once.
Oh, my God. Nothing,
it went from nothing to just straight hot cold. which sweat.
Well,
which
that was me breathing on you.
Yeah, well, I like that part. That's my favorite
That's
part.
probably why you got sick, not the tattoo.
Yeah,
It was
I do
definitely
love
the cream.
I love the COVID.
Did you get sick afterwards? I didn't know
I did.
that.
I got full blood COVID.
You're welcome, Doc.
It's like 2 weeks in the hospital.
I only had a little bit of a cough.
No,
It's
I'm
all
kidding.
right.
Again, those numbing cream, the only thing that works is fentanyl.
It works real good.
So I want to talk about the business of tattooing. So when you're a tattoo artist, obviously you make your own schedule, but also do you go in to the studio and hang around? Like, what's the schedule like? I mean, you guys are veterans, so I know it's like different when you first start off. You got to pay your dues, but for like a normal,
and they're sweeping up the manscape pubes.
like, is it 5 days a week? Is it somewhat normal work schedule? Like, how many hours?
I think it all depends on the studio and the artist too. You know, some people, like a street shop, they will go in and hang out all day, and then there's other shops where people just come in to do the tattoos that are scheduled and
appointment only. Yeah. So like,
but it's fun to hang around tattoo shops anyway. So even in a shop like ours where people have appointments, I mean, we take walk-ins too, but you know, it's fun to walk around and see what everybody's doing.
Yeah, and then also
art. And art is fun.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah. And then is there other things besides the actual tattooing process with one of your clients that you have to do day to day that a lot of people don't realize? Like, you have to do like a tattoo gun. I know it's not going.
Oh my God!
The tat alarm.
I'm so hold on.
You have to do any maintenance or
Give him a blast.
you know, anything that the people don't realize, like, oh yeah, I gotta rebuild this.
I gotta go in there and stir my inks.
I think people don't think about all the drawing that's involved.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of time.
Well, you just get that from
working on
AI.
it.
That's what Tom says.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because so the drawing, you still go in. I mean, do you do that at the studio or you do it from home?
Yeah, I mean, I typically draw at night, but I mean, so it's like you're tattooing for 5, 6, 7
Batman.
hours. Batman. And then you're going to go home and draw for the next appointment for 3 hours, 4 hours sometimes. So it's like you really are only getting paid for like the half of the thing. You know what I mean?
Is it hard to get people to understand that the drawing at home, the shop, wherever, or just the idea and getting it from your brain onto the paper has value? Is it hard to get them to understand that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, some artists charge for that. I don't charge for that, but I mean, I think that it's something that when people don't think artistically too, they think that like you're doing this for fun. Like when people just draw at home for fun, they're like that. But like for us, it's a job, so it's like you're constantly working,
right?
You know, so maybe that, you know.
Yeah, I don't even really try to get people to understand that we're doing that. You know? I never even considered.
But that's why I've always loved
wait a
you.
second.
Hold on. Should I be saying that?
Should we be charging
No,
for
that's
that?
why I love you. Is because Earl's like, I don't care. I just don't care.
No, I mean, I think some people are aware, and then some people are not. But you know, sometimes people will say stuff, and it's like they're like, "Oh, can you just change everything about this right before I come in?" It's like, nah, that takes a little while, bud. You know?
Yeah.
We're idiots. We should have been charging this whole time at home. Man, I can pay you so much more money. Where have you been? I needed you.
So, and then, like, how much tattoo time can you guys handle per session, per week? Because I imagine you burn yourself out after a while. Like,
I want to know about your hands too, because like honestly, I have these stupid Stream Decks in front of me to run these cameras, and I have a certain position that I use that's easy for my thumb to just switch them quick, so I don't have to look at it. But this hand lately is all screwed up from just doing it. I'm like, you little baby. There are people that do this professionally, like barbers and tattoo guys, that literally sit for hours doing this. What's that? Like, do you have to do any preparation for it? Do you have carpal tunnel issues?
I mean, normally it's my back. I use, like, traditional coil machines, so they're, like, steel and heavy.
Okay.
Where, like, he uses, like, a pin rotary, but he specifically started using
I switched for that reason,
Yeah, his hands were getting sore. Damn. So, I mean, mine will get a little sore, and then I got to stretch my hands out and stuff, but it's typically my back. Like, if I'm working on a back or a chest and you're, like, leaning over somebody
for
hours. So I try to, like, really not tattoo people for more than 3 or 4 hours anymore. I mean, some people tattoo all day. You know, it's like 10 hours straight. I can't do that. I'm just too lazy and fat and old.
That's a young man's game.
That's a 25-year-old
baby tattooers.
Yeah, we are still doing. How many shows do we do? Like 25 shows a day. Tom and Dad just keep banging about. Nobody wants that many.
You don't want to shut down the ATM, guys.
I know.
You
can't.
Yeah. So, like, for you guys, like, how many hours on the needle on skin would you say per week you're doing?
I like the way you said that.
Oh, yeah.
Hours on skin. It's like an airplane.
I usually do either 3 or 6 hours a day, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
About 5 days a week.
Okay. So that's usually about what the standard is and what,
That's hard. I mean,
it's real person to person.
Okay.
Yeah, some shops that you're there from noon to 10, 6 days a week. Like you're just there, and you might not be tattooing that whole time. I mean, street shops you can bust out 20 tattoos in a day.
Yeah,
of smaller stuff.
Or some days you can sit around all day and do nothing.
Yeah, like I do like 2 appointments typically.
Xbox is not nothing.
That's true.
Call of Duty, solid.
Yeah, I got to straight up stick up for the Xbox because I remember Spitnik days at when you guys were less appointment only, and I'd be on a couch, just maybe I was having a beer in the back and playing some Xbox.
Well, that's when he had a bad Call of Duty addiction.
Yeah, I had to give up Call of Duty because I was like not drawing my stuff at home, and then people would come in, and I'm like, just hang on, I'm in the middle of the game.
I got a good kill streak going.
Yeah, so it was getting self-destructive.
Yeah, okay.
And going along with the business of tattooing, because it seems very I kind of equate it to a band or a musician, right? Because the individual musician determines what they charge depending on how popular they are, what kind of crowd they, bring or whatever. So it's like as you get more and more popular and do more and more work and your work becomes, well known, then you become more sought after. And then I imagine you raise your prices to a point. But then I'm like, how?
What?
Well, because it's like any artist.
Should we be charging for this?
So I imagine like any artist, you start off, and then your prices go up as how popular you are. But is there any reference to other tattoo artists out there?
How do you determine a
correct
price?
Yeah. Like, is there some sort of where you're like, oh, I'm as popular as this guy charges this, or is it completely all different across the board? Is there any standardization at all?
I mean, I think there is. Orlando kind of has around the prices, but also tattooers, if you're not crazy, have just crippling self-doubt. So, we never like to raise our rates. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my God, if I raise it $20, no one will ever get tattooed ever again. So you get kind of locked into that.
Yeah, we worry about that, too, in our
it's
line
a
of
weird
work.
thing. But, I mean, I think that you kind of have to look around town and kind of be competitive. And I do think that helps. It's like if you're booked 9 months out, you know what I mean? It's like you probably could raise your rates and kind of equal that out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Less appointments, but you're making more money, but it's the same kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, Earl and I both tattooed in Orlando. What you've been tattooing
20 years.
20 years, and I'm at 13 or so. So it's like I try to be pretty fair because it just keeps people coming back. There's people that charge astronomical amounts of tattoo money, and they get it. But
do you have to maintain a standard just in case people spread, tell other people what they paid? For instance, let's say you charge someone something for you charge by the hour. How does that usually work?
I
or by the
typically
piece?
charge by the hour, but I shouldn't do that because I'm really fast. So I'm just screwing myself. I charge by the hour, but you're getting your entire back done in 5 hours. So it's it's crazy. But it just depends. Some people charge by the piece, some people charge by the hour.
Yeah, but also, even if you do a tattoo and somebody hears they could get it cheaper somewhere else, or somebody would have charged more or whatever, art's worth what it's worth to the person that's buying it, really.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, it's if, let's say, Daniel.
You mean when we're talking? So I go to Derek, and Derek gives me a rate, and he says, this is the rate. And then you go to Derek later, and you get your work done, and he says, this is your rate. And then we're over here having beers and talking, and I'm like, oh, man, I love your new Derek tattoo. Isn't it great that he only charges X? And you're like, what?
Yeah, I'd be like, well, Dan's cool, and his tattoo idea was better. So I think it's a little bit of a better.
I would say that, too.
Yeah.
Your tattoo idea is, sucks.
Because I worry about that with some clients because I charge based on the type of watch they have.
Oh, my God. Some people are free.
I learned that in the AC
I'm not going to say which one, but one of our clients is free. But I won't say which one.
I charge based on how rich they are. Yeah, that's how I thought a business worked. It's I go and then I'm like, oh, this guy's rich.
Sometimes he bases it on what their wife looks like on Facebook. He does.
Yeah.
You still zooming in on those?
Yeah, he can't stop himself.
Especially when you go to the Caribbean because I know.
Oh my God! 3-day cruise. When I see a 3-day cruise, I get a.
Well, with so many helicopters in, to the parking lot and then comes in, we'll probably tell him a little more. You know what I mean? But
Like,
hell yeah.
And that's why, like, in the industry, let's say, is it normal to have your prices not posted and then you have to talk to the artist, right, for every single piece or thing?
I mean, social media is weird. Some people put that like right in their bio on Instagram of like,
really?
I charge this much an hour. I mean, I think it all depends. It's like I've got clients that have been tattooing for 13 years, so it's like, of course they're going to get a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
you have a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I think it does depend on. I mean, not all the time, but if you have a really rad idea that I'd like to do and it's a full back piece, I'm going to cut you a little bit of a break. Than if you were to come in and I've never met you and you're getting one small tattoo. It's just like, well, that's the minimum. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Human centipede, but it's the entire cast of The Office.
You're getting a discount. See?
Human centipede, but it's the entire
People
cast
don't
of The
understand
Office.
if they did
and
that.
do you even know who the first? You know who the first centipede is?
Shroot, right?
Kevin, and he's holding the chili, and he's spilling it, and he's spilling the chili. That's the greatest. Nobody can beat that. No one can beat that idea.
Last Pam.
Why would you do that to Pam?
I have to say that.
Why would you? You know what? That is the meanest thing you've ever said.
Yeah, but
on
that's
this show.
why it's funny.
Why would you do that to Pam?
I feel like Creed would volunteer.
He would. He absolutely would.
So, and I was going to
I hope
ask
that
you,
drawing doesn't show up in my inbox one day, and I'm like, horrified.
Somebody's on Midjourney right now.
Like, oh my god.
So, is that a typical?
Oh, I got a question from the chat room.
All right,
Do you mind? Do you mind?
Yeah.
I want to get to him because he's been asking it a lot. What do you guys have an opinion on? And have you ever dabbled with the trend in invisible ink?
I haven't seen that. That's been. I mean, I haven't had anyone ask about that in 5 to 6 years.
Okay, well, maybe it's.
I never did that. I've never done it.
Yeah, never
I never
dabbled
did
in
the
it.
Come in, I'll give you an invisible tattoo. You won't even feel it.
solid price. You'll get him a deal on that, right?
Yeah, good deal. It'll be really quick too.
They
I'd
were
do it
getting me
fast.
for a hot minute on social media with the people that would just put the stencil on their head.
Oh, yeah.
And then they color it in, and I'd be like, oh my god.
Sounds like Kevin.
Yeah, it would be like the worst tattoos on the forehead ever, but they were all fake. But it got me for a hot minute.
Have you seen the one the guy's got his face painted like a Ninja Turtle? And
I love that guy. Yeah, I follow that guy. He's just tattooing his own head like a Ninja Turtle.
Would it be beneficial if tattoo removal became faster, cheaper, and easier?
Chop your arm off.
Like because I feel like you're like, let's say going back to you guys have regular clients that get tattooed all the time.
Yeah.
Well, there's a finite amount of tattoos that
You're not wrong.
people can get.
Yeah.
So like your best client.
I know people that get them removed and then go back and fill it all in again.
Well, I think if you were like tattooing this person 15 years ago, you just go back and fix your crappy tattoos and charge them twice. That's all.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
yeah, you're constantly doing touch-ups and stuff.
I mean, I think that's awesome. I don't hate the idea of tattoo removal, and I think that the better it gets into technology, it helps people out. Plus, I could finally get Earl's name taken off my leg.
Do you have Earl's name on your leg?
I do have Earl's, right there on my
Wait
thigh.
a minute, I have Earl's name on my leg.
Yeah, that's weird.
you guys are in a club.
He's got a lot of hose, man.
My God,
You know
this
what I
is like, what was it, Axion or whatever, where they were putting
Nexium.
Nexium, yeah, they put it in the uterus or
mean?
the tattoo.
The long hair,
Yeah.
candlelight. It's
My
wild.
God. He's so charming.
Also, and I didn't know this was a thing until my buddy the Grizz told me, because he got tattooed in like the Air Force in a different country. He got a big koi fish in his back, but half of it is colored in and it's not finished or whatever because you ran out of money or one of those. and then he can't like find someone. He lives in Virginia and he can't find someone to finish it.
Is he really looking? He's pretty dumb.
I'm
He's
sure.
pretty dumb.
There's plenty of tattooers in Virginia.
A lot, yeah.
Well, he's gone there, and people don't want to finish someone else's work.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. I was like, really? I was like, I figured anybody just be like, all right, $800 or whatever. They'll do it for
I'll
money.
color in this koi for $800.
When he's here, I'll finish it.
Yeah,
Let him
but
know.
people,
I'll do it.
The Grizz said he got turned
Dude,
away.
let's do it as a
because-
skit. Will you
That's
guys,
good.
You guys teach me how to do it? I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll color the hell out of that koi.
What's that, Steve-O?
No, I'll do a good job, dude.
Yeah,
I'm artistic.
but
It would be funnier to do a bad job.
I can do that job. I can do that too.
We don't need any more tattoos in Orlando. You can't do
That's
good.
True. That's
Like,
true. That's true.
I mean, you can't just get, the tattoo device and then
device.
No,
It's not an atomic bomb. The machine.
He does remember.
It's a tatty zapper. It's a tatty zapper.
So, were you guys?
Zapper.
Is that a thing about finishing other people's work?
I mean, it can't. I don't mind, finishing people's work if like they're not somebody that's local or somebody that they need. And if I didn't know somebody, like Earl's client came in, I was like, oh man, I need to finish Earl's tattoo. Like I wouldn't do that, obviously.
Yeah.
But if somebody's got like some crap tattoo they got 10 years ago and they can't find the guy, or it's just bad and I can make it better. It sometimes it's hard because like it limits you, to what you're doing. So a lot of people just don't want to deal with that.
What's your next tattoo, buddy? What are you going to do? And how would you? What are you going to do with your sons? What are you going to do with your boys?
You going to tattoo your children?
Like if Maisie came to me because she's pretty tough, and she's like, to commemorate my I'm a national championship of dancing. I want to write dancer across my belly in Gothic. Long Beach style.
I think the rule in Florida is you have to be at least 10 years old.
My son just turned 10.
They moved it.
Are there statutes like where if I go in and fill out
what are you talking about?
No, but I can fill out the paperwork because she's mine.
You sign off on it.
Can I?
I want your no, not that young.
Not that young.
What's the youngest I can sign off on?
I think 16.
I think it's 16. We don't even tattoo minors, but I think it's 16.
Yeah, most of your really good shops don't even mess with that because it's just ridiculous.
Some do. It's just.
But how funny would it be if Tommy got a teardrop tattoo?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, like people. I mean, my
it's
God,
the
my
ultimate
family.
Fish out of water. People look at it, they're like, "What?"
How quickly do they call DCF on me? Or are they so confused that they?
What if just got over his lip? What if it just said Rizzler? What if it just said Rizzler over his lip? You know what that means?
Or,
he's getting
or under his eyes, like Post Malone.
Yes, under the eyes, and it said Max Riz. I would love that. Do you guys know what Flickr? You guys know what Flickr gooning is? Flickr gooning?
No.
Flickr gooning? Is that something?
Never told me. What does it mean? What does it mean?
Why do you know what that
Do you
means?
know what gooning is?
Sexual?
Do you know what? Yeah, it is. Do you know what gooning? Because I'm trying to save his sons from the pits of internet hell because they're using the languages of the teens and it's bad.
So you're trying to save his kid by going
because he's always talking about they're saying yacht and Riz.
Oh, I know what a yacht
and
is.
Rizzler and Mutting. And
I don't know what that
Munting.
is.
Do you know
Munting?
Munting.
Are we saying? Are you going to give me a try? Are you
I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that.
Daniel told me he can't even describe it on the radio.
Munting, I can't.
I'm like, you can describe everything.
But gooning, Flickr gooning, I can.
Flickr gooning.
Gooning. Do you know what gooning is?
Let me try to guess. It comes from the movie Goonies, and it's about like when you're down there. And then you do a hey you good.
No, but that's good.
It's like a new Blumpkin.
Gooning.
It's when you beat up Rick Ross in Canada.
Good. No, but gooning is when you're edging. Gooning is another word for edging.
Is this on the radio? Or are you talking? Is this on the radio?
Yeah, this is on the radio.
Oh man, it's wild. Now they need
It's a night. It's a night.
It's the same as edging. It's the same as edging.
Okay.
Flickr gooning is when you've edged for. You've had a 7-day plus edge session.
7 days.
Yeah, and children Flickr gooning, and you want to know why?
How old are these kids?
And you want to know why it's
the
called
whole
Flickr
time?
gooning? Flickr gooning because you can see what you've been saving up flickering in your eyes, and that's why it's called Flickr gooning.
So the gooning is the stuff.
Is edging.
Oh yeah.
This is crazy.
Gooning is another word for edging, and Flickr gooning is edging for 7 days plus, where you can see it in your eyes.
I think just because something's on Urban Dictionary, I don't know if that means people are doing
Kids
it.
are using it. Kids are using it.
You have a TikTok?
There was a
you
kid
shouldn't have a
using it.
TikTok.
No, there's a kid using it at a Wendy's drive-thru the other day.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
On a Dave single?
Yeah.
You saying that?
So, of course, you guys...
Ask Tracy's kid. Tracy, your kid just walked in. Ask him if he knows what
Do not ask that,
gooning or
Tracy.
Flickr gooning is.
I'll ask Max and Tommy tonight.
Yeah, ask them.
They don't even know what the words they say.
But they know the words. That's the problem. Because they're going to want to know what the definitions of the words are. Just because they're like, oh, man, I was Flickr gooning last night. Like, they may not know what it means, but they're winging it around.
Yeah.
They may not know how powerful a gun is, but you can still pull it out and fire it through the ceiling.
So, the East, of course. Let me ask you guys a question.
I think this is a good commercial for the East.
Yeah.
So
we don't do Flickr.
We're all
gooning.
Flickr gooning down there.
Yeah, they're anti that.
Yeah.
So let's say I want a tattoo from one of you guys, but
Ooh, what are you gonna get?
I'm a nerd dad. I'm an awkward nerd dad,
Okay.
which a lot of people are out
So
there.
you get a family crest.
Because you guys are cool, even though you don't think you'll say I'm not cool. You are. You're
Super cool.
More than 95% of the rest of us out here, like, doing nerdy jobs, living a
guys
nerdy
are
life.
cool? Oh, yeah, totally.
You know what I'm saying? So then we get,
I thought you were talking about us for a second. I'm like, we're not cool.
No, I'm saying,
I mean, that guy's got a bracelet on like a real goddamn Florida man.
Yeah.
Florida men wear. My dad used to wear bracelets like
Your
that.
dad was cool as hell, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So nerd dads may be, anxious or feel awkward, like they don't know how to contact you guys, or even going, like you're
I appreciate you giving me this Justin Fields Chicago tattoo. Go Bears!
Do I go into the shop and just like, hello? Do I contact you?
It's intimidating.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You were scared, I bet, when you pulled up originally. And you go like, hello, is anybody here? You guys in the back playing Xbox and smoking weed?
I don't know how the cool people do the process. Hello. What's the easiest way? Is like to contact you on social media.
If you're really cool, you just act like you don't want it, and then we come to you. Like, you
That's
must
true.
need it.
You'll be in your car, and then you'll pull up, and then put your car in reverse for 1 second and go to back away.
Hey, no.
It's just I hit you up on social media. Is that like on your?
Don't say hit you up on social media. Should I slide in your DMs? What?
I mean, you can hit us up on social media, Instagrams. You can send emails. We have a shop.
You can come in person.
We got a
too.
phone. You can come in. You can send a smoke signal.
Which you prefer though? Because people don't do phone anymore, right?
I have everybody come in person anyway. Even if most people reach out to me online.
You want to see if they're fat, don't you?
No, I mean really, I want to see if I get along with them, because sometimes you meet somebody and instantly
I don't get along with fat
with
people
them,
either.
and then I'm gonna have to spend hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I get along with everyone. So
I mean, I'm difficult.
You're particular.
That's a better.
Yeah,
way
you're
to
not
say it,
difficult. You've worked with me before. I'm probably was the most annoying person you've ever had in the seat.
Oh,
No, I get along great with my clients
Because I talk too much.
Yeah, I was about to say Daniel's chirping the whole time. You're like, my God.
That's the way Earl tattoos, though. I mean, he's there. He can be there with you for 40 hours. Like, I'm doing, traditional bangers. So I'm like, 45 minutes, see you, dog.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff,
Yeah.
A lot of my stuff is so big, it's like, we're going to be friends at the end of this.
Yeah.
So let me make sure.
Or mortal enemies.
Yeah.
And the psychology, I'm sure, is just like a barbershop or anybody sitting down and you're sitting there with them for a long period of time. They just start talking, right? Like, that's a normal thing. I'm sure they start telling you personal things. And you're like, why are you telling me this? I just met you.
Some people definitely do that.
It's like, it's like a therapist session, right?
Yeah.
And people just start talking, and then they're like talking about their wives. And
I think I did that with Derek. I think I did
No, I do the opposite way. I capture you, and then I trauma dump.
Yeah, a little bit. I know
You're
some
here.
things. I know some things.
I'm causing pain, and you can't go.
Yeah. I know some things.
I'm just screaming at home at night all the time.
Hard-hitting questions from the chat room. Have you done any Haktua tattoos yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Haven't been lucky
That's
enough.
good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's a
I'm
good
jealous.
thing.
It's
There's
all-
another one.
I haven't even seen one.
it's over now.
It's over.
I've saw.
She took too long getting the trademarks.
I saw it
Yeah.
on social, but I think it was fake because now they have because everything's fake on social. So I think they got spread around and they just put the Haktua art and there's
I've
some
seen people
filter.
peppering it into their
Mm.
spray something on their
I've seen
tattoo,
that.
and they cut
Yeah.
it together where she's Hawk-2ing tattoo cleaner or whatever. But I haven't seen anybody tattoo.
Okay.
that.
Another question is, I don't know if this is real or not. How would you handle Magic Johnson needing a tattoo? He's got AIDS!
We treat. It's called universal precautions. We just treat everyone like they have AIDS. As far as
That's how I live. I live like everyone's got AIDS. I live like, you got AIDS, you got AIDS, you got AIDS, simply AIDS.
And then
so it would
If
be
you
fine.
live your life just assuming everyone has AIDS, it's a happier place.
But then
Cleaner place.
I thought that was not going to be serious because I was going to be like, I tattooed Shaq's brother one time, but I didn't know that was going to be.
No, this is a serious question.
Oh, all right.
is there like because I knew a guy from high school and he moved up to New York and he became like a famous tattoo artist and he tattooed Madonna. And then ever since
It sounds like one of rednecks. I knew a guy.
He went up north, joined Wu-Tang Clan.
He went up north. He opened up a shop, man, and he tattooed goddamn Kid Rock one time.
I saw him in Miami I
remember
Christmas.
the story. He did.
Ellie Maggs. And
Yo,
then,
don't be you shouting out other artists.
I'm sorry, he's in New York. He's
What
not
are you
here.
doing, bro?
We got a
I
turf
was there.
war now.
He's got Timberlands on.
Yeah,
It's
you're
no
a
big
Mark
deal.
man now.
And he said it was crazy, but from that, and then she posted it, and then all of a sudden he gets an insane amount of requests because it's like you tattoo one famous, and it was like a infinity symbol on her finger or something. Like, didn't even show his what he can do. You know what I'm saying? But because of that, all of a sudden now he's booked out for years. And so I'm sure there's a marketing strategy and randomly getting to tattoo a famous person. Like the person.
Are you asking them if they've tattooed famous people? Is that what you're?
Shaq's brother. That's all I got. Jamal O'Neal, man.
Jamal O'Neal. That's a good
he was
one.
huge. And every time I touched him with a needle, he went, "Ahoo!"
Wow, really?
He was so big, dude.
I like that.
Well, he rolled up in a Superman van and was like, "Oh, you might know who my brother is. He owns car washes." And I was like, well, you're wearing you got a Superman van and your last name's O'Neal.
Why did he say he owns car washes?
I don't know.
Dude, Mr. Big.
Yeah.
No, I know he does, but that's the clue to being Shaq's brother.
Well, maybe he's
That's
rolling
for
in
locals
low
only.
key.
Let's just say how many championships he's won. Or
He's rolling low
Well, he
key.
kind of said he owns a basketball team, then he got all low and he was like, you might know who he is.
He came in
His name is Shaquille O'Neal.
You're also
He was dressed
7 foot tall.
Carrier and Judy Hardaway.
Earl, Derek, thanks so much for coming by. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you
no
guys,
problem.
man. Plug the shop one more time. So if people want to get original artwork at its finest, that both of us, been tattooed. Go and see Derek and Earl at the East.
Yeah, the East Tattoo. It's the East Tattoo on all the socials and
Yep.
the easttattoo.com.
Great website. You can reach out to people there. All the artists are on there.
Right there in Ivanhoe.
Yep, very.
Close.
It's a super nice area, man.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's a good look.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time.